Hey everybody, I haven't invited anybody in here yet. Just give me a second. There was a bit of technical difficulties that were happening. So give me a second while I send the invites and whatnot. Just opening up some shit. Things are happening on my phone. Boring. You're all so bored watching me set this up. I wish this was more action-packed. All right, let's see. Need to open up my Patreon so I can send these invites out. My Chrome had like a million fucking tabs I was looking at, so this is really annoying that they're all trying to open up right now. Close. This is interesting. I'll look at these later. Close. All right. Let's see if I can find the people that donated so I can invite them. Everybody be patient, because this is going to take like 5 minutes. Yeah. Hurry the fuck up, stupid internet. The Patreon page is deciding not to load. I need that. So I can invite people. Come on. Fuck. Patreon.com can't be reached? What? What about other websites? Patreon down? No, it's not. It can't be down. Oh, no, it's loading. It's just being very fucking slow. Should do a speed test. This is the most annoying start to a stream. I'm sorry about that. There we are. I'm logged into Patreon. I'm gonna send out my invites pretty soon. I'm just going to copy and paste the exact same thing I said last month because I don't have time to write out something genuine because we're already late. All right. Okay, highlighting patrons. Yeah, and sending a mass message. Got to replace the links with the correct ones so they don't get links to like last month's Hangout, which wouldn't really make sense. Setup takes a long time. If only my computer was working properly like 10 minutes before the stream was supposed to start. I don't know why that happened. I had to restart it. It's what always fixes things. Just restarting. All right, and the YouTube link. Here we are. I am fully ignoring chat right now because I'm trying to set up. Why do I look so weird? I don't know what you're talking about. I do feel like the lighting is a bit weird today. I feel like my face is redder for some reason. I don't know what's up. It might be this room. It might be. It's like dark. I don't know. Usually there's more white balance or whatever, but I'm not gonna. I don't have any time to figure it out right now. All right. So these should be the correct links. Send. Well, this doesn't make sense, but okay. I only selected the patrons that processed for the $10 perk, but whatever. Because the Patreon said it hasn't sent out the message yet because it always takes a while to actually send out, but it's like you're sending this message to 1,024 people. That doesn't make sense. I don't even have 1,020 patrons. That might be like the total amount I have, but I know for like I didn't select all of them, and it shows it right now that I didn't. Anyway, now I'm going to publish a post, so it's not just going to be the message function because we know that the message function doesn't work all the time. So now I'm going to publish a post on the Patreon wall. I could talk about the Holy Mountain if you want. New post. October 2016 Google Hangout. And copy and paste all that. Broadcast to patrons pledging $10 or more. Post now. And last but not least, just people that donated over email. Donation received. Yeah, somebody donated on October 11th. An amount of $10, so I'm inviting them via email. Shut up about chat. Chat's my friend. October 2nd, there was also a donation, but it was not $10. Yeah, I think I only have one from emails, so just sent it. Hey,
Hi.
Somebody's here.
Hi.
Hey, how did you get in? Was it through the Patreon message?
Yeah, it was through the Patreon post.
Okay, cool. Yeah, sorry about the delay.
Oh, don't worry about it. Don't worry about it.
Cool. How are you doing?
Yeah, I'm doing okay. Yeah.
Oh my God, I hear my own voice. You should, whoever's got an echo going on, either put on headphones or.
Yeah, sorry, my headphone jack is a bit broken at the moment.
Oh, no worries.
Struggling.
Maybe have the mic, turn the mic down and bring the mic closer to your mouth. Okay. Just so it's not, or stand or sit further away from the speakers, just so it's not, just so nobody else has to like listen to the echo or whatever. Thank you. All right. So there's a new trailer for M. Night's Split.
Oh yeah,
and it looks really funny.
Yeah.
It looks even funnier than the last trailer.
The early reviews are actually like fine. They say it's like the weird mix. You can't tell if it's shitty and doesn't know it is, but it like tries to get away with being kind of laughably bad. So it's like weird with tone. Yeah.
Yeah. I swear it's edited by a madman.
Sorry, what?
I swear it's edited by a madman as well. Like the editing was just absolutely ludicrous. Like
trailer editing especially. It's so sad that like I wish there were rules that the trailer had, like the entire marketing of the film, the trailer especially, had to be done by the people that made the movie. Because I feel like with the director of the new Evil Dead movie and with the guy that, with the new Evil Dead movie and with Don't Breathe, both of those had trailers that were so much better than the actual movie. And there's so many instances where someone will be hired to make a trailer and they'll do a great job, but that tone will never be reflected in the actual film.
Yeah.
Well, that's
like
what David...
Suicide Squad. Like that never happened in the movie, really.
Yeah. Well, that's why I like David Fincher's trailer so much, because he actually has control over them, you know?
Yeah, and we had a bit of this conversation in one of my previous hangouts, when somebody mentioned that, like, due to some weird Austrian thing, Michael Haneke actually has a lot of control over his trailers, and I don't remember what the reasoning for was, but it totally makes sense, because every single time I've seen one of his trailers, like, I know that it's like it's an accurate depiction of the tone of the film and what you should expect to see in the film, and B, it's not going to spoil anything. So I'm like, if there's ever a trailer for a Michael Haneke film, I always watch it, because, like, you know, I know it's not going to ruin anything for me, which is nice. Hello, welcome to the call.
Hey,
Riley, and also Vice. How's everybody doing?
Fantastic. So privileged to be here.
Check your privilege right now, sir.
Oh,
Check it. But no, yeah, thanks for donating.
Adam, you know how you went to the Eric Andre live show or whatever? I'm going to his last show in LA, like in 3 hours. So he's like,
have fun.
Yeah, so I want to get drenched in ranch. That's my only goal. Yeah,
it was a very unique experience. I also saw Hannibal Buress live like a week ago.
How was he?
Cool. You know what? I didn't know what to expect, but I enjoyed it. It was very much like stand-up, whereas Eric Andre, like, so the Hannibal Buress was a venue with like sitting down chairs, and the Eric Andre show, you could not do it in that kind of venue. Eric Andre was more like a live concert, like, well, debatably concert, but more of like a crazier show environment. Hannibal Buress on his own, I enjoyed his opening starter acts or whatever. It was all just stand up. There was some funny visual accompaniments to go with like certain cues in his jokes. So he had some guy who was like a DJ who was opening or whatever, and he would just sit there, and then if there was something that corresponded, like it was obviously all coordinated out beforehand, but there would be some visual cues that would correspond with what he's saying, and that would kind of add to it. I don't know. It was kind of cool. I liked it. I would see him live again.
Mm-hmm.
Yep, I enjoyed myself. I'm just gonna look up the reviews for M. Night's new movie, because I wasn't even aware there were reviews yet.
I just got in a massive fight with my girlfriend about that movie.
Good.
Because she said it looked good, and I asked her if she had high-functioning Asperger's.
Ah! Oh no. Why would you say that to your girlfriend? That's funny.
She's just getting ready to move in with me too.
Oh no.
As I can beforehand.
Have fun.
Yeah.
Split. So it's a 78% Rotten Tomatoes, average rating of 6.9 out of 10.
How many reviews? Sorry.
Only, well, there's 9 reviews total, 7 fresh, 2 rotten. Let's check out Metacritic.
Just imagining the writer and the cast all did the reviews or something like that.
Yeah, I don't know, because to me, it's, I don't. There's gonna be so many points in the movie where I'm just gonna say like, that's stupid, you know. Yeah. And maybe, just maybe, the parts that look stupid about it now actually won't be stupid by the time the movie's over. Like, maybe in the spirit of M. Night, there'll be some kind of a twist where it's like, ooh, actually, he was pretending the whole time, and this whole like split personality thing's like he was just trolling you or something. Who knows? We don't know. But I'm willing to bet there's probably going to be some kind of a really bad twist.
You know. Yeah,
it seems to be back in that M. Night stage.
Also, keep in mind that The Visit also has a 64% in Rotten Tomatoes.
Yeah,
so
I know.
take it with a
Yeah,
grain of
But
salt.
this doesn't look nearly as annoying as The Visit. This looks a lot more watchable than The Visit.
I'm hoping it's going to be like parallel universes or something ridiculous like that. Then.
Gosh, my hair is a mess. I look retarded.
Oh god.
Oh, Adam, I saw that you rated Stranger Things on IMDb.
I've seen the first 4 episodes.
Okay, I'm on episode.
I haven't seen
5 myself. Yeah.
Yeah. So no spoilers. But first impressions, I guess. There's something about it that makes me want to watch more. If the child actors sucked, then I probably wouldn't enjoy it all that much. But they're decent, they're competent, and I feel like that really helps it out. It took me, I don't know. So the first like 2.5 episodes, like I was halfway through episode 3, and Mark asked me how it was, and I was like, wow, there's nothing really about it. Like I felt, I just told him, like, I could explain to you everything that's happened in the plot right now, and you can start watching right now. But up until this point, I wouldn't say that there's been literally anything that you would have had to have seen from the actual show. I would be like, you could start watching right now, and I would never say like, oh yeah, you had to see the show, do it, instead of me just telling you. And then later on, and I'm not going to spoil anything that happens, but later on, I'm like, oh, so now things are actually starting to happen where I can say like, that is something that you should experience from the show and not just be told about it. Particularly having to do with Winona Ryder's performance. I think she's doing a great job in that show, and there are scenes with her in it. And again, not going to spoil it. There are scenes with her in it that really bring a lot of impact to the show, I think.
Yeah, at first I was kind of like convinced. I was like, is she shitty in this? But then like as it went along,
I never thought she was shitty.
Well, not shitty. Just I was kind of like half and half about it, and then she convinced me to further developed. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, like throughout, she seems like one of the better aspects of the show. But just like the show in of itself. What is this noise? Who's doing this?
It's frightening as shit.
It's the Upside Down.
Oh shit! Watch out.
No, yeah, she. I enjoyed it, and I guess you're like moving your. I think your microphone is attached to your camera, Riley, or something. Because I noticed, yeah, I can see it coming from. I can see the audio. Like blips coming from your thing whenever those weird noises happen. It's like you're dragging it across your desk or something. But it's very loud, so try not to move your camera so much.
I'll be careful.
No worries. But yeah, she. What was I saying? Yeah, the show itself, I was kind of iffy on because I mean, it. For something that its biggest selling point whenever somebody tries to talk to you about it is like, oh yeah, it's super 80s. I mean, yes, in ways, and like the soundtrack's decent, but at the same time, I mean, like, if that's going to be your selling point and that's what you're going to go for, then I mean, there's plenty of things you could do on top of that that would make it even cooler. I didn't feel like it was really used to its full potential, but I'm willing to keep watching. One of the things that is kind of, I guess, that I'm kind of anticipating for though, is, I mean, I've only seen 4 episodes now, and everybody who's ever watched it and said anything to me about it has just flat out said that there are some really stupid parts. And I'm just waiting for the stupid parts to happen because
they're coming.
I'm waiting to see how much they affect what I think of it, because I'm anticipating some very, very stupid things.
I don't think they're unforgivably bad, but there's two incidents in particular that
Say no more.
are. Yeah, I'm not gonna say anything more, but when you're done watching, I think you will know which two.
I've heard about some really like nobody would do that moments.
Yeah,
you know,
or
that's what I've heard about it.
That would never happen in the
guess
real fucking world ever.
Yeah.
Kind of shit.
I got sucked into the story of Stranger Things in such a way that I guess I didn't notice those stupid moments. So I'm actually unaware of what you guys are talking about.
No, that's all right. But yeah, I've only seen half of it anyway, so
yeah.
I guess I haven't gotten to it. So,
but like,
speaking of kind of vaguely supernatural, stories, I was wondering about Adam, your thoughts on one of my favorite movies, which is Donnie Darko.
You know what? That was like my favorite movie of all time when I was 13 years old, and I had only ever seen the director's cut. I had rented the director's cut, and I rented it all the time, and then bought it or whatever. And I'd watched it so many times that I had it like basically memorized at a point. And then at a certain point, I think I had watched it too many times, and I kind of just forgot about it for a long time, because I still know pretty much everything that happens and everything that I remember being great about it. Like, you know, Jake Gyllenhaal does a great job, and especially during the scene where he's like, he's behind you right now or whatever. Like, he's like their therapy thing.
Oh, yeah.
And I mean, I the only thing preventing me from talking more specifically about it, I guess, is the fact that I haven't seen it since I was like probably 15. But I mean, I still consider it to be a great film in my memory. I would just have to go back and revisit it. And from what I remember, I like the director's cut a lot more than the theatrical cut.
Yeah, I
have it on Blu-ray again now.
Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
No, I was just saying I got it on Blu-ray.
I was just going to say that I'm actually one of the weirdos that likes the theatrical cut more, simply because of the musical edits.
Oh, yeah.
I like the placement of certain songs better in the theatrical cut than in the director's cut.
Yeah,
I understand that
the song at the beginning.
What at the beginning?
Oh, the Echo and the Bunnyman song.
Yeah, maybe I don't even know, because it's also possible that like, because right now all I can think of is like the director's cut is the movie that I remember, and it's very possible that the one time that I tried to watch the theatrical cut when I was a lot younger, it's possible that the only real reason I didn't like it is because I had already grown accustomed to like the one version of it, and I was like, well, this isn't the same or something.
It's like showing your friend
maybe
Blade Runner.
Right. No, yeah, really. I'm willing to accept that possibility, because again, I haven't seen it in forever, but I would like to, I don't know, I would like to see both versions anyway. I would like to see them again.
I actually don't. I mean, I watched a couple scenes from the director's cut, and I immediately turned it off when I realized, oh, the songs are different. Yeah. I don't like it.
Yeah, who knows? I haven't even seen his other movies either. I haven't seen his that one with like The Rock and the one with like the box.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, the box was hilariously bad.
Yeah, I've heard interesting things about Richard Kelly. Now I'm remembering.
Richard Kelly. What is it, Greg?
I think his name's Richard Kelly.
That was it.
But I've only ever seen Donnie Darko, and I only remember the director's cut, and I haven't seen it since I was like 15 years old. So
yeah,
his other movies are things that I'll probably be seeing before the respective lists of that year, whatever year the box was. I don't know, like 07. Was it 07? We'll see.
Yeah.
Oh, did you guys see the new Tommy Wiseau, Greg Sestero Best Friends trailer?
I saw that. The best
scenes.
Best friends.
I can already tell by the trailer that they know that this movie's going to be bad, and they're taking advantage.
Oh, the box
of
is
it.
2009. I think I tried watching the box actually. What was the name of that movie that he did with The Rock? Getting back on Richard Kelly. All I remember was like it was very polarizing. Southland Tales, was that it? Yeah, that's it.
Yeah, Southland Tales.
I never saw it. I never saw it, but it was very polarizing. Is all I knew about it.
I mean, like he as a filmmaker kind of reminds me of like George Lucas, where it's like he has like some pretty cool ideas, and then execution is where he like kind of falls apart sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Somebody asked what my favorite movie of 2016 so far is, and I would have to say it's The Handmaiden. That's the one movie that I like. I've rated every there's tons of movies that I rated in 2016 as a 9, but the Handmaiden is the only one that I really want to give a 10 so far, and I need to watch it for a second time before I can like say that because I don't know. I'm just trying to figure. I'm really. It seems like it really deserves a 10.
So I just saw
I'm guessing.
Do you want to go?
Go ahead.
What?
I was just gonna say I'm guessing that's one of the films that you caught at one of the many festivals that you seem to attend.
Yeah, I saw it at VIF, the Vancouver Film Fest.
I just saw it at the ArcLight in Hollywood, and so far it's my favorite movie of the year. It was just I like purposely avoided trailers. I just like
me too. Amazing. Exactly. Like why watch a trailer for something when like you know you're gonna see it, and when you're not sure if the trailer will be edited by some asshole.
Yeah. It was just so great on so many different levels, especially for pacing. I thought it was just excellently paced, and sound design also.
Yeah, I can't. He's a really great director. A lot of the like the cinematography in his films give this like kind of like magical flowing sense to it, and he puts a lot of effort into each shot and the way that they move. You know, I thought it was really cool.
Like that fight scene in Old Boy is probably one of the best fight scenes of all time.
Yeah, it's up there. It's up there. I need to watch his other movies. I saw Lady Vengeance a long time ago, and I haven't seen it since. I don't think I've seen Sympathy for Mr. Vengeance yet. I finally got back my director's cut Blu-ray of Thirst, because I lent it to Shay, and Shay's brother like destroyed it kind of by like just spilling coffee on it or something. I don't know. It stopped working, and then it was like I couldn't find them anywhere online. It was so difficult to track down like the physical Blu-ray, and so it was annoying. But after a couple more years, some more copies eventually started popping up, even though they were limited run. Like, I don't think any more have been made since then, but I was able to find some on Amazon finally, so
in my opinion,
about it.
I'd say, in my opinion, I'm a Cyborg, but that's okay. Film done by the guy did Old Boy. That film is pretty funny, in my opinion. I would recommend.
I don't even know what that is.
It's one of the films. I think it's after Lady Vengeance and before Thirst.
I'm a cyborg.
But that's okay, or something like that. It's set in a mental institution.
Oh, interesting. That is on my watch list.
It's pretty funny.
Yeah, I would. Yeah,
I've honestly watched. Sorry, go ahead.
I wasn't gonna say anything. Go for it.
Okay, I was just gonna say I've watched probably more bad movies this year than good movies, and I watch them intentionally.
Yeah, I would say. Even if I don't try to, I watch more bad movies in a year than good movies. But go on.
Like. Thanks to your YMS video, I introduced my friend to Neil Breen's films, and we watched the first one we watched was Double Down, and into the movie, the both of us are just rolling on the floor crying.
It's pretty
we haven't
great.
even gotten to the fun parts. Oh, we were having such a blast. And then just last week, we went to go see Max Steel, which was atrocious.
I want to see that. It looks good.
Yeah. It was wonderful. We went to the theater, and the two of us were alone, and there was no one else in the theater, and we just spent the whole time just screaming at the movie theater, just throwing insults. By the time I got out of the theater, my voice was completely hoarse.
Yeah. See, from the trailer, I knew it already looked bad, but I didn't think it looked 22 Metascore bad. Like, now I want to see it.
Wait.
Oh, yeah.
Wait, what? Which is this?
Max Steel. The movie that tried to be a superhero movie, but somehow, I don't know what happened.
Wait, but is it like an actual superhero movie with the Doomsday device and a guy that wants vengeance?
Not even that.
It looks like a tween version of a superhero movie, and it's based off of some like. Is this character something that existed before this movie? What happened?
Yes, he was a point line, famous in the early 2000s.
Okay. I just want to look up the budget because there's like, it seems like one of those things that it's like, why would you give it money, you know, and then it gets money. It's just one of those depressing
20 million. 20 million.
It's a decent budget, but I mean, for a superhero movie, it's kind of low. But if you can imagine what Deadpool did with, how much was it? Like, how much was the Deadpool budget? Let's see.
I think it was like 60 million.
58 million. Okay, yeah, that makes sense.
Oh, that wasn't far off.
I mean, but like they were smart with that one. They just went like, "Oh, okay, well, we don't have much of a budget, so let's just film the majority of the movie on like a highway."
On a highway in Vancouver that that everybody knows.
Did they ever establish where exactly Deadpool takes place?
Well, I don't know if I think the film, it was either like Toronto or New York or something. I don't remember. I think the film said New York, and I don't remember. But there was something about the story that I searched up and was like, oh yeah, well, it's not really Vancouver, is it? It was definitely Vancouver pretending to be somewhere else, if that's what you're wondering.
I think, isn't the Deadpool character supposed to be Canadian and live around the area?
Not in Vancouver.
They established that he's from Saskatchewan.
No, yeah, I think I looked this up another day, and it was like Deadpool's Canadian, but he lives in like Toronto or something.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
I mean, it would have made sense if he lived in Vancouver, because they filmed it in Vancouver. But I mean,
right?
We can
everything that gets filmed in Vancouver is always just not Vancouver. I think those are the rules. It's like if you film it here, it can't be here.
I think they filmed parts of Inception in Vancouver.
Parts of what in Vancouver?
I mean, I know a
they
large
filmed
part
parts
of it
of
is
every movie in Vancouver. It's like it'd be hard to find movies that aren't filmed in Vancouver at this point.
Yeah, Adam, my question for you is, like, when you start filming your own movie, are you going to set in Vancouver, and will you dress it up as a
well, I mean, I'm trying to figure out the logistics of what I want to do and like what my budget would be and what that would mean. But if we're like, I'm kind of getting the impression, just based on how my thoughts are going for it, that if I were to make something like really like personal, which would be, you know, the goal anyway, I would probably at least want to set a decent portion of it in like Alberta. So like really shitty cold parts of Canada. Because as someone that spent like the first 21 years of my life in that kind of environment, and you know, already as someone that watches a lot of movies, I don't see that many movies out there that kind of have that as a setting or as a feeling. So I think that you know, if you're thinking about making something, I think the best thing to try and consider is how can you make it your own and how can you bring a unique voice to something. And I feel like that would be one of many ways I could do that, is have a setting that is not just unfamiliar to most audiences, but one that is familiar to myself and one that I could actually, you know, tell a personal story with, you know. So who knows? But I can't really commit too any for sure ideas about it, you know.
Hey, I get that.
Oh, sorry. So you can go.
Somebody have a bird?
Oh yeah, sorry, that's mine.
Oh, no worries. I was just curious.
Yeah.
You should do like a Canadian remake of. Oh, you should do a Canadian remake of The Shining then, or something. If you're gonna.
You could do a Canadian remake of Fargo, and everyone will sound exactly the same.
Yeah.
Canadian remake of The Shining would just be someone knocking politely.
Yeah, Canadian remake of The Shining in the Overlook Hotel.
No. It's just Kevin Smith's daughter.
Oh. You know he's making a third one, right?
Oh, wow.
True North trilogy.
Great. Oh, it's a trilogy?
Oh yeah.
I want to see Kevin Smith pull off just some unexpected Oscar-worthy performance. Just blow everybody away.
Oh yeah.
No. He's not. He's done making anything.
No, it would be
of any kind of value.
I know. It would be like Adam Sandler.
I don't know. I made some people.
I want M. Night to make like the best movie ever made. I want that to happen.
Which is, well.
Have you seen the new trailer for his movie?
Yes, it's hilarious. It looks even better.
The first. Sorry.
Go for it.
In the beginning, it looked kind of cool because I like the actor, but then when I saw the names of the movies, you know, Unforgiven, I was like, oh my god, no, please.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But
Well,
I look.
M. Night is one of the few misunderstood geniuses of our time.
Yeah, what are you gonna do if, like, in 25 years, people look back on all of his haters and it's just like, you didn't understand?
People do that now.
Well, they love him in France.
Yeah.
With like people that can actually be taken seriously.
Okay, so speaking of directors that people accuse you of not understanding, what are your thoughts on the Wachowskis?
Oh, is that do people say that I don't understand the Wachowskis? Because I think my Jupiter Ascending review was pretty. I think I was just preaching to the choir on that one. I don't think there were that many. I can't think there were any people out there that thought that like I just didn't understand.
The only person I know that defends the Wachowskis at this point is Movie Bob, who is kind of his own little thing.
Yeah.
But I'm currently in the middle of doing some kind of analysis thing on them, and they started out really strong, like back in the 90s, and I was just trying to figure out like where their turning point was, which is somewhere between the first Matrix movie and Speed Racer, the movie.
They're M. Night Light.
Yeah, they have a very M. Night. They have a very M. Night sort of tendency. But some people look at the Speed Racer movie and defend the aesthetic of it because it was supposed to look like the anime. But to me, it looks like a fucking like Robbie Rodriguez film.
It does. It does look like a Robert Rodriguez film,
and it costs
like
5 times as much.
Yeah, I mean, Robert Rodriguez, from my understanding, is a little self-aware and understands perfectly well, like, oh yeah, I'm making bad movies because these movies are for my kids. Like these are movies for my children, and so they can be bad as long as they're good for kids. And I totally get that. And his movies, despite them being bad, if you're a kid, you fucking like they're fun movies, genuine, right? So I mean, like at least he kind of gets that. Whereas the Wachowskis, they're not making their movies for kids. And somehow they turn out a little similar.
Yeah, I mean, this one was bad, and then I sat through all of Cloud Atlas, which was about an hour and a half longer than it needed to be. It was. I don't think there's any justification.
I was never bored during that movie. It was just dumb at a lot of it.
Yeah. Well, okay. Well, first of all, I just thought it was hilarious how many accents they made Tom Hanks do.
Oh yeah.
Like,
didn't they make Tom Hanks Asian at one point?
Yeah, like
they made a lot of white people Asian in that movie, and it didn't look good once.
No, their eyes.
I mean, like,
and it was really, really bad.
Like I don't.
There was one storyline, like the storyline after the apocalypse, where I couldn't even understand what the fuck they were saying. Like they had that weird like
the true.
That was so funny. That was so funny. I want to see it again just for that, just because it's so bad.
I'm looking at
but
it.
like I don't care. I don't care if you want to have cast someone of a different ethnicity. You know, like that's totally fine. But it looked awful from a makeup standpoint.
Oh
so,
yeah,
like they mixed in the white actors wearing like Chinese face and mixed it in with like actual Asian actors.
Well,
and then it was like you could always tell which ones were just white people with Asian makeup on.
Yeah.
And it was just like if you couldn't tell, then it would be fine. But from a makeup standpoint, it was just like, why have you done this?
You know? Like an abomination. Well, 2 months ago, Warner Brothers fucking fired him for the Jupiter Ascending.
Yeah. I'm not surprised. I'm a little sad because in reality, I would love to see them get that kind of budget again, but now it looks as though they won't.
Yeah, they actually said in an interview they don't ever expect to, which is like my deal is when you look at how they make their movies, they make them in a particular style. Like The Matrix was action comic style, and Bound was that neo-noir style. And they get
the budget for Jupiter Ascending was $176 million.
Yeah, but I think the
budget for didn't they rip off Ghost in the Shell?
$4 million or something like that.
Yeah.
It was. Let's see.
We know what another parallel between the Wachowskis and M. Night is that they both had their actors like put on ridiculous accents that just don't exist in the real world and are super inconsistent.
This is true. There's see, that's what happens when you try to be like overly ambitious with science fiction without really polishing the universe and making sure that everything makes sense. It's like when you have the budget and the resources and all of these people that will never tell you that you've done something stupid. And like nobody on board the entire project goes like, that's dumb. And that doesn't make sense. And everybody's just in this like, oh yeah, it's great. Like circle jerk with like M. Night and Will Smith. And that's how these projects happen. And I would love to see more of them because they're fucking funny. You know, I would love to see this happen over and over again. Science fiction is one of the funniest things you can screw up because it's so like overly ambitious and it creates this universe. Like the entire universe doesn't make sense, and I find that just so fucking funny. It's not just not just characters. It's like the entire universe does not make sense.
Yeah, it was so ill-defined and just overly broad and completely fucking dumb.
It's funny.
Hey, so, do you think Mila Kunis is a good actor or actress rather?
She was great in Black Swan, but I think something that a lot of people don't really take into consideration when judging an actor's performance is whether or not it was the actor or a combination of the actor with like really smart casting choices. Because there's plenty of times, Black Swan's a good example from Mila Kunis, plenty of times where it's not as though she's already some wildly different character. It's not like fucking Charlize Theron in Monster or something where like it was one of the greatest performances ever because she transformed herself, whether physically, emotionally, whatever. For Black Swan and a lot of plenty of movies out there, sometimes it's just really smart casting and they chose an actor that worked extremely well with the character that they wanted to make. And sometimes I get a little upset if there's like an Oscar going towards a performance like that, as opposed to somebody who actually legitimately transformed how they act, right? I've always found it to be much more impressive and important for an actor to not just go like, oh, okay, so my character's sad in this scene. How do I cry? This is how I cry. And that's what I'm going to show. Versus my character's sad in this scene. How does my character cry? Not you know, there's plenty of actors that can tear up on command. But then like every time they do it in a movie, it starts to look the same. Whereas, you know, a performance like Heath Ledger in The Joker, it's actually transforming himself into somebody different. And I've always found that to be much more valuable and important. Sorry, what were you saying?
Yeah. So I thought that Get from your what was it, the 2014 list was another really good example of an actress really throwing herself into her character and conveying a lot more than just crying for emotional scenes.
Yeah, that was really well done.
Yeah, it's kind of like I can't remember the name of the cinematographer, but someone asked him what's the best kind of cinematography, and he said it's not bad cinematography or good cinematography, it's the one that's right for the film. And
this is true.
This is kind of
true. Yeah, because you can do something like grandiose and impressive, but if it doesn't fit, then you're kind of just wasting your time and effort. Yeah,
you can put your frame on. You can take your camera and frame up a nice big piece of rat poop. You can light it well. You can edit it so that it looks great. But in the end, it's still a piece of rat poop.
Man, I was thinking about just like inappropriate like presentation as I was watching Stranger Things. There was a scene where it was kind of just like I can't even remember specifically what happened, so I'm not really going to spoil it. But it was a scene. It was a scene outside. They were standing having a conversation next to a truck, and I believe it was Winona Ryder's oldest son having a conversation with, I think, the detective or somebody else. It was another guy, and just like the way that things have sort of like winded down in the story, like what the scene really needed was to have like, or what the characters were kind of, the entire presentation aside from the editing was communicating sort of like a slow kind of like, there should be shots that last for, I guess, like 10 seconds and then maybe cut to the other character. But what wound up happening, like whoever did this in the editing room, like I'm not sure who was responsible for this, but it was like the cuts were way too fast. It was just like cut to this actor, cut to this actor, cut to this actor. It was just two people having a conversation, but it was like 3 seconds maximum for each shot. And it's like, depending on the scene, that might be appropriate, but in that scene in particular, it was just like, it just took me out of it right away. I was just like, what's happening with these quick cuts right now? Like this scene does not, it doesn't complement what's being shown right now.
Liam Neeson jumps a fence in 23 cuts. You seen that?
Oh, that was so funny. That makes me want to watch that movie. But...
Wait, what movie?
Tack Threen, starring Liam Neeson.
Tack Threen?
I think it was 13 cuts. I'm not sure it was 23 cuts.
23 seems too much.
So,
but either way, it was really funny.
So, what do you think about Stranger Things?
Well, I mean, it's I gave it a 7 based on the first 4 episodes I've seen, and I'm anticipating when things get really stupid, but don't spoil it if you know. Because I don't even know what I'm talking about, and we'll see just how stupid things get. But that's what I hear about it.
Overall, I ended up giving it an 8, but I might have been a little bit generous with it. But I really liked it.
Yeah, who knows? So. I mean.
It wasn't anything groundbreaking, but I thought it was really good for what it was.
I think the production value was great in that series.
Except
so sad. Sorry, I'll let you finish.
No, there is just a couple moments, and I won't spoil anything, where they use CGI where I really wish they didn't.
Yeah, it's really sad. Sorry, were you still?
No, I'm done. I'm done.
I wasn't sure if you were finished your sentence. I realized very recently, so Christmas is coming up, and I was just like, oh, like what are some things that I could want for Christmas? And I'm like Blu-rays, and I look and I search up like, Making a Murderer on Blu-ray, and I realized that Netflix will probably never do any kind of physical releases for their Netflix exclusive shows, because the entire point of them having exclusive content is so that if somebody wants to watch Making a Murderer or BoJack or Stranger Things or whatever, they somebody's like, oh yeah, just get Netflix. It's like $10 a month. And there's enough of those shows combined with other content that it's really easy for somebody to say like, oh yeah, that's totally worth it or whatever. But if they release it on physical media like Blu-ray, they kind of lose that, you know. And so now I'm just slowly realizing that there probably will never be any kind of physical release.
What about like if and when Netflix becomes defunct or changes entirely? Like, do you think they'll probably sell the rights to those and then somebody will make?
Who knows? People are saying House of Cards is on Blu-ray though in the chat right now. So I guess I'm wrong about that, but I wish these things would happen.
Yeah,
sooner.
I did see that. I did see that House of Cards was on.
Yeah. Well, I guess I was wrong.
Isn't it kind of like how Game of Thrones is on DVD, but they're rolling it out like super slowly, and if you wanted to do it that way, you'd be behind by a few seasons?
That's kind of funny. I don't know, because I mean, like, who really has HBO?
I do.
Not that many people.
I mean, didn't the creator of the show say like it's totally cool if you pirate?
Yeah, he was like, I find that flattering that it's the most pirated show on the internet.
That's all the justification I need.
Well, we can, if you want, we can have this debate. But I mean,
no, it's just.
I think, yeah, I think no. I support piracy. I support the idea of trying something out before you buy it, and I also support the idea of not being forced to buy something that you don't like.
Well, when I was a younger kid, like when I genuinely couldn't afford shit that was coming out, I would pirate, and then as I got older and started, working and making money, I proceeded to buy all the games that I pirated that I liked and delete all the other ones. So I ended up doing, the right thing in the end. But...
Well, yeah, I mean, like that's just more evidence that goes to show that. Oh no, you need to turn your computer volume down, Sir Kai. I might. Yeah, we can hear all the stuff going on. You have headphones on too, so that's a little bit. Oh no! Fix your audio, Kai. Fix it. There's something happening. I'm gonna mute him for a second. Okay, there. I don't know. We'll see if I can. Wait. I don't know how to unmute. Uh-oh. What was I talking about?
Oh, he just kicked decision out so he could be on the Skype call. He was like, "Bitches be gone."
Oh no!
I got the YMS thing.
That's an inappropriate terminology. What were we talking about? We were saying something.
Pirating.
Oh yeah. Piracy. Well, so yeah, I mean, like, I'm in favor of the idea of not being forced to support something if you don't like it, And I mean, you guys right here are evidence that if people truly enjoy something, then they'll try to support it, right? I mean, I release my content for free online, and here you guys are donating so that it can, continue to flourish and do well.
Well,
I'm quite sure that the majority of people who pirate are also like the ones supporting artists the most.
They are. They do completely
this
true, and people often mislabel pirates as just, like, oh, you don't care about art or the industry, when in reality, pirates care more about art than anybody else. Like, there are people who want to share the experience, who are willing to break the law just to share something that they enjoy with people, right?
I mean, usually it's just you're interested in so many things that like you couldn't afford to buy all of them.
Yeah. I mean, you can't expect everybody to be able to shell out that kind of fucking money. You can't expect it. And I think that especially with a lot of people making these decisions in Hollywood's corporate America, they really don't understand what it might be like to be somebody who can't afford to purchase every single movie that they watch. And and again, I mean, like, the evidence that if you're gonna say that people who watch something for free will never be a supporter of the product, then you should also ban people having movie watchings. Like, I'm inviting some people over tonight to watch some horror movies for Halloween. I have physical Blu-ray copies that every single movie that I have is bought and paid for, but they didn't pay for them. How is that any different than piracy? It really isn't. Other than you have to like physically be in my house. But like, out of all the people that watch movies with me tonight, there's some of them, like, there's some of them that might enjoy one of these movies enough to purchase it themselves or even talk about it. You know, it's like free advertising. I just I don't see any real difference between sharing a movie online and just watching a movie at a friend's house, because in the end, you didn't pay for it if you're watching your friend's copy, or you borrow it from a friend and then eventually you may or may not want to purchase your own copy, you know?
Right. Exactly.
I don't think that there's anything really fundamentally wrong with piracy, because people will support things that they enjoy. There are some examples of people that will never support things and they just want to be freeloaders. Yes, those people exist. But if you punish pirates, you're typically punishing people that are actual supporters of your product and want to see more people enjoy the art that you've created. So that's what I think.
On an unrelated note, you want to go first?
So because I have a question, so what is your opinion on people that use AdBlock to watch your videos and you will never get the money for them?
Well, I mean, I release my videos for free. So if somebody wants to not support me by using AdBlock, I think that is a perfectly reasonable thing to do. What if there's somebody who hates my guts and doesn't want to give me a penny, but they want to see something that I've said just to like call me out on it or something? They should be able to watch my videos without directly supporting me. And you know, Patreon also exists in that sense that so let's think of it this way. So like right now, YouTube Red is a thing, and I'm not too familiar about it because they don't really offer it in Canada yet. But from what I understand, part of that service is you pay a certain amount of money a month, kind of like Netflix, and then you don't have to watch ads on your videos. So in a sense, you could also theoretically do that with Patreon. You could be like, okay, I'm just going to use AdBlock, and if I really feel like donating to this person and I want to support them, but I hate ads, then I can just turn on AdBlock and give this guy like $1 a month on Patreon or something. I consider that to be a perfectly reasonable thing to do.
That's what I do.
That's what I do.
Yeah, I mean, I don't see any issue with that. I don't see it. I would never want to force someone to support something financially that they don't want to. And you know, there's people out there that don't like ads and can afford to give money on Patreon. There's people out there that don't like ads and will never donate a penny on Patreon. But I mean, just because there's people watching my content that aren't giving me money doesn't mean I don't want them to see it. The end goal of what I'm doing on like every single thing that I do artistically, whether it's this or my music or anything, the end goal was never like, oh yeah, I want to do this to make money. The end goal is to share things that I've created with people. And so if I'm going to say like, oh no, yeah, you're not paying up, you don't get to see it, I just think that's stupid, because that's not what I'm doing it for. I just want to share experiences and share, you know, feelings, relatability and stuff.
I guess if like someone who doesn't, let's say, puts an ad blocker and whatnot, watches your videos, I guess they could like share it with a friend or something like that who might not have ad blocker.
Yeah, exactly. You know, like the more people watching, the better off I'm doing anyway. And to put your content behind a paywall, I would argue, is doing you more damage than good in the long run, especially because you're limiting the amount of people who will discover and be introduced to your content. You know, so that's how I feel about it anyway.
On another note, totally unrelated, have you ever considered like taking on like hired editors to speed along edits?
Well, no, because I mean, I've got Mark who does the stuff for my gaming channel, because the gaming channel is not my main focus, and what happens on like gaming videos is like more or less is something that I can just teach to somebody else. and Mark picked it up pretty well. And he's adding his own stuff to it. And in the end, I mean, for a gaming channel, I can look at it and not care as much about, you know, so like a couple of his videos that he released recently, like the Merc plays, whatever, I didn't even review before he published it, but I'm like, I know that he's good enough at this point that like I don't really have to, depending on the video. Obviously there's some things that I might want a bit more say in, but when it comes to my film review stuff, I'm the process of what I'm doing, so much of what makes the video that it is done within the editing process. There's too much of it that happens in the editing process, like too much of what makes the video important to me or like good to me or something that I'm happy with. It's all editing. That's the biggest part of the process. So if I outsource that, then yeah, I'd be saving a lot of time, but the videos wouldn't be the same. And the product, like I would be releasing content that is not what you guys were supporting, right? And I couldn't do it. And I mean, yeah, it takes up a lot of time, but I can't outsource it when I know it would dramatically change the actual product. Maybe I could. No, I can't do it. It's not something that I would feel comfortable with.
That's understandable.
Sorry.
Well, yeah, I mean, like, there's tons of channels where they have just one narrator and one person editing, and that's all they need. But I don't like the editing process is what gives it the personality that it has, right? The final product. You could, if you gave like Matt Pat or JonTron or whoever's audio to a different editor than somebody that they normally work with, you'd get a dramatically different product, right? Because that's how things are held together. That's how the final product is held together, is through editing. So I don't know.
I mean, they have a couple different editors. Matt Pat at least has a couple different editors, and you can actually tell from episode to episode.
Oh yeah,
like certain, like you can tell when Ronnie's editing because he uses that hand thing, and the certain text with like the hand thing with that you know what I'm talking about, and the colored text and the wrinkled paper. That's all Ron.
What's that hand thing? Sorry, I'm making a reference to a really old YouTube video.
What's the hand thing?
Just search up hand thing. It's really good. But anyway, no, yeah, I'm really picky. I'm really picky with what it is and how it turns out. And you also have to remember that like there aren't that many channels out there where the jokes being made are primarily through the editing. Like there's no, so if you just look at part 1 of the video that I just published, and part 2 is going to be really funny, by the way. There's plenty of shit like this that I won't spoil about part 2. But part 1, I mean, already there's that whole part with the kid crying in the Hindenburg. There's like the also parts where I'm not even saying anything. So like when he's like, oh yeah, let's see how high it will bounce, and it turns into the cool cat scene. Like that's not something that I was like, oh yeah, let's do that, and I wrote it down to give myself a note in editing later. It was something that like as I was editing, I was like, oh yeah, this looks identical to that other scene, and then I decided that it would be funny to put it in there. You know, like when it comes down to editing, either what I would have in mind for someone else to edit would take so long to explain that I might as well be editing it myself, or we would be missing out on half of the jokes that appear in there anyway. You know, like if somebody else was editing it, like there's so much in there in every video that I make that just simply would not be there if it was somebody else doing it.
Sorry?
So it got some background noise. Who doing it?
No
worries. All right. What else? What else should we talk about on the docket?
I have a question that I wanted to ask you for a while.
Yeah, sure.
I'm a really big fan of animated movies in general, like very general, and I always look for the animated movies in your lists. Is there other animated movies that you recommend to watch, like really good ones?
Yeah. Let's go through some on. Well, so like Miyazaki movies are generally pretty good.
Yeah, solid.
As everybody already knows. I mean, most of the animated movies that I've recommended would be on my lists.
Yeah, I've seen them.
The best of the year.
But like they were
2009 was really good for stop motion.
Yeah, with
there were
was
three.
That Mary and Max one?
Yeah, Mary and Max, Fantastic Mr. Fox, and A Town Called Panic, all in the same year.
Yeah,
it was probably the best year for stop motion animation, and nobody realized it. But
is Coraline good? I never saw
Coraline's good. Didn't make my list, but it's good.
Also, is there a sequel to A Town Called Panic? Because I saw something on your.
So basically, A Town Called Panic is I guess they do like short films a lot, and I don't know if they have a TV show or not, but they're more focused on shorter content than actual films. So the thing that I watched and rated on IMDb was a theatrical screening of a few of their short films. So it wasn't really a film, but I mean, like, if it was released as a film, it might show up on my list, it might not. So I don't know. But yeah, they've got tons of shorter stuff. As for other animated movies that I haven't mentioned, though, but I don't know. The Lion King is one of the greats. I really like Nightmare Before Christmas. I don't care. Haters back off. Let's see. What are my other favorite animated movies? Let me look at my list of favorite movies in general. Somebody has a bit of echo. I can hear myself twice, and I'm not sure who it is. So just be aware that I'm not bleeding into people's speakers. Let's see. From what I remember, Persepolis, I don't know how to pronounce it. Persepolis, whatever.
Yeah.
It's pretty good. Ratatouille is probably my favorite Pixar movie. Let's see. What else we got?
I guess Ghost in the Shell.
Yeah, I've only seen it once, but I enjoyed it quite a bit. Yeah, Satoshi Kon is pretty good. Let's see. There's some in my like favorite movies list that I again have not updated in forever. Just I don't know when I will.
Like stop motion films like Coraline and Terra Norman and Kubo and the Two Strings. Those are pretty great.
Yeah, I didn't get into Paranorman, and I mean we've already seen my thoughts on Kubo on my channel too.
I thought Paranorman was kind of
yeah.
Coraline is still my favorite out of all of those.
Out of those three, I would probably agree. Also, Waking Life. If you want to call Waking Life an animated movie, that's up there. But I mean, I don't know. You could call it an animated movie.
You could call Fantastic Mr. Fox an animated movie too.
And that's
pretty fucking amazing.
Well, I mean, Fantastic Mr. Fox is definitely an animated movie.
Yeah, I was about to say.
I don't know, because like the Waking Life is very much like, what is it called? Like rotoscoping? I don't remember.
Oh, I know which one it is.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's
the Linklater.
The same one, like. With like Scanner Darkly,
same director. So.
Oh, yeah, it is.
It was the Richard Linklater movie.
You could also put Anomalisa on that list.
Yeah. These are all things that I just talk about in my list anyway. So like, I mean, yeah, it's the same stuff.
I think it came out in 2014. That stop motion film.
Which one?
That was like, it was. I know that the stop motion film was rated R, and it was like a very adult movie.
Are you not talking about Anomalisa? Because
Yeah, that's it.
Okay, that's 2015.
Oh, it is 2015.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was just going to say, it was just like, I was just trying to think of that adult movie. I couldn't think of the name. It was just like bugging me. I kept wanting to say, what did I keep wanting? Now that I know that it's Anomalisa, I can't even remember what I thought it was called.
Yeah, whatever. Waltz with Bashir, also pretty great. But yeah, I mean, we're just listing things that I've already talked about anyway, or like put on my list. I haven't seen The Plague Dogs. I don't remember actually if I've seen it or not. Somebody asked if I've seen the newest season of Black Mirror. No, I haven't. There's, Black Mirror is a little overhyped, I think. The series premiere was pretty good. The Christmas episode was great. And then, although I haven't seen everything else that I have seen is like a little bad. I don't know. I've seen some episodes of Black Mirror that are just awful. So I don't know. It doesn't really have a great track record. There are some episodes that I really like. But yeah. Wizards, yeah, I agree with you, Karate Coaster. Don't spoil it, but Wizards does have a really good ending.
Hey, how did you feel about the Red Letter Media shout out?
I felt that was good.
I thought it was fucking.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah,
I think we're all convinced that it was somewhat of a shout out.
Yeah, I don't think that was like.
It would be too much of a coincidence.
Yeah, it didn't. It was pretty much because they got like CinemaSins and a bunch of other mainstream movie channels.
Yeah, some of them they just like flat out made up, I think. But
yeah, I think they towards the end, yeah.
I also saw that Mark was had a video reacted to by Markiplier.
Yeah, and he only used the first like 5 seconds too. He was like, didn't laugh, and then moved on. But it's like you didn't even get to like the meat of the video. Did he just like leave? Did he just click away, or did he just not include that part? It's weird. Mark's upset about it.
I think iDubbbz is getting ready to do a content cop on Markiplier. So,
oh, good. That would be really funny.
Yeah,
I'd watch the shit out of that.
Yeah, I love that he's been doing the. Have you seen his new series that he started up with the boxes? I can't remember what it was called.
I think I'm only really familiar with some of his content cop stuff.
I started following him like way back in 2013 when he was doing like the really fucking stupid meme shit, and I've got to watch it kind of change. But the box shit
interesting
doing is like really kind of fucking psychopathic. He borders almost on that disgusting, filthy Frank vibe. That's kind of a little bit too much
he's interesting.
Yeah,
there's some of his stuff that I really like, but I don't like all of his stuff.
Fair enough.
I'm not. Yeah, I'm still just like gauging it and just watching it and like looking. I don't know. I'm looking at it watchfully and just seeing if one day I can decide how I feel about it. But so far, I think it's mostly positive. He lives in LA, right?
Yeah, he does.
I'm visiting LA in November, and I'm trying to figure out who I should hang out with on there.
That would be fucking hilarious.
Mm-hmm. But anyway,
the whole debacle with like Leafy, Keemstar. I was getting way into that at one point, but after a while, I just got sick of it. After the whole like back and forth that iDubbbz had.
It's always fun to watch drama.
Oh yeah, I fucking
That's
love
why
it.
that's why it sells. It's because it's fun watching people argue at each other. This is exactly why it's the most like hyped up presidential election also. Is because you're just watching idiots bicker with each other and nobody's right. You know, like it's so easy to be anti-Hillary or anti-Trump because they're like both of them are not really upstanding citizens, you know. It's just horrible people arguing with each other, and yeah, it's fun.
Yeah, I hate them both.
Yep.
Not voting.
Don't we all? Yeah,
if voting
we'll see what
changed
happens.
anything, they wouldn't let us do it.
Well, yeah, I mean, who knows? I mean, like this year, your vote isn't going to change much, but
yeah, I mean, if you could make the comparison to like Donald Trump and Hillary Clinton versus like Keemstar and Leafy and iDubbbz, I feel like Leafy and Keemstar both take up the Donald Trump slot. It's the Hillary Clinton.
Okay, I don't know if I agree with that analogy.
I don't know if I do either.
we don't have to get too specific.
Well, maybe they're
into
politics
today.
Who cares?
Like we're in dangerous waters.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's move on.
Yeah, this is fine. I wish iDubbbz would make a content cop on me. Just talk about how stupid I am. How my content is the worst. Thoughts on Christine? It was really great, but don't look up anything about it. Because even saying the plot description of what it's about is too much of a spoiler. Because I think there's too many people that just assume that there's like
the word Christine, what will happen?
Well, no, yeah, there's people that don't know about what it is, you know,
Right.
or anything about it. And it's better going into it blind, because otherwise you know, like, it's better to not know what happens. So I would just say watch it without looking anything up about it.
What movie?
Is that
Christine, the new Antonio Campos film?
does that have a wide release, or is that indie only?
Well, we'll see.
My God.
I mean, like, it was in the film festival circuit, obviously, so we'll see how wide of a release it gets. But it's like an American film, as far as I know, so it's got some sort of release. We'll see if it gets any Oscar buzz or something.
They fucking busted the guy that did the fappening.
Oh.
He's from Pennsylvania.
Oh shit.
18 months for the fappening.
How old was this person?
26. Oh no, 36.
Wait,
36. Sorry. 36.
That makes it funnier.
Yeah.
What is this?
Did they like publish his name and everything too?
Oh, I'm sure.
Because I mean, like, if that's the case, then the prison sentence is the least of his worries if
Ryan Collins.
If he's published. Okay.
Yeah, he's done.
Oops. Yeah, sorry.
Oh, so the guy who...
How do they know it was him?
Celebrity photos.
They traced it says, by mid-September 2014, a few weeks after the photograph surfaced, the Justice Department successfully identified the suspect by tracing his IP address.
But now, why is it coming up now if it was
because he's just now getting sentenced, I guess.
Oh.
2 years.
That's kind of funny.
Trial.
You know, I've always kind of felt like doesn't tracing one's IP address to implicate them in a crime, doesn't that really only work if like they live by themselves and they're the only person with the Wi-Fi router password? Because I mean, I've always kind of felt that way about like illegal downloading or even like child porn or anything like that. Like, if you have more than one person on a Wi-Fi router, or the potential for there to be more than one person on a Wi-Fi router, doesn't that mean that, like, you can't really, like, implicate an individual in a crime unless you have evidence beyond an IP address, unless you have some, like, I don't know,
MAC addresses.
I don't know, really.
Would be the further extension.
Yeah, maybe it's like specific to the computer and it's just not the Wi-Fi. I don't know.
Yeah, that's
I guess
MAC,
really
MAC addresses are specific to. I only know because I do IT, and that's how they get you.
Oh, okay.
Through the MAC address on your network, and those are pretty. There are some things that spoof them, like if you use Tails or you use
Sonic.
Tails within.
Sorry.
That kind of shit. I'm not gonna like get into like fucking. Being anonymous online,
that's all right.
It's boring as shit, but
No,
that's how they implicate individual computers.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, do illegal things at a coffee shop.
Yes, it's actually like a really good strategy.
Yeah, it's like in the olden days using a phone booth to
pretty much
tip off the FBI or whatever and be like, I did it. Oh man, there's so many.
The Zodiac killer got away with it.
The changes in our culture and technology has really has really dictated what kind of plot devices can be used in movies, you know?
Yeah.
Like, horror movies are so much worse with cell phones.
Oh, yeah.
Like, you either have to do the cliche, oops, our phone's not working, or
Well,
you have to incorporate it in some way.
When our phones break, that's like the scariest thing imaginable. So
oh, yeah.
There's your terror right off the bat. Jesus Christ, all these Witch Mercy Halloween costumes are making me very happy.
Witch Mercy?
Yeah, the Witch Mercy skin that released in Overwatch. I don't know if you play Overwatch at all.
Okay, I don't even play Overwatch.
She got a witch skin.
And I never will.
Why not?
Because it doesn't seem like something I'm interested in. It's like, yeah, I mean, I'm not a super competitive gamer, and I didn't really get into TF2. I didn't really get into Counter-Strike. I didn't really like pretty much every single competitive online game that you can think of. I kind of just like fucked around and then got bored and was like, okay, well, that's the end of that. And it's one of those things where it's like, yeah, if you want to develop your skill, then you can start playing it for real. But I don't want to put it like, it's too much of a commitment for me to be spending enough time on it to develop myself at it that I just like, there's no point. Because I only play games like 1 day a week, and I do that for my stream, and I don't want to turn my stream into just Overwatch. Like, especially when there's so many other people streaming Overwatch that are going to be much better at it than me, and I'm just offering nothing to the table. Yeah. So,
sorry.
I was just gonna say that I can see what you're talking about.
Mm-hmm.
But are you gonna buy the Last Guardian that's coming up?
Yes. I have it pre-ordered.
No,
even though
don't pre-order games.
I pre-order games that you know you're gonna buy anyway.
I know, but like, video game developers always screw people over through pre-order. So
no, I get
what's
that.
The point?
But I feel like you should judge individual developers instead of blanket ruling the whole system. So, David Cage's Detroit. I pre-ordered that too because it doesn't matter how bad it is. I'm gonna buy it, and I want the extra scenes and shit. Like, I don't care if we're talking about like Halo 5. I didn't pre-order it because I'm really mad at 343, and I will always be mad at them, and I hate them so much.
What did they do? I've never played Halo games.
I pre-order games that I know I'm gonna buy anyway. So like I was actually pretty hyped for No Man's Sky, and I didn't pre-order it because it was one of those things where it's like, you have to ask yourself, or this is what I ask myself, is if the game is the worst thing ever made, do you still want to buy it? And so there's some games that I would say yes, because I would like to see what The Last Guardian is like, even if it's bad. I would like to see. I'm expecting David Cage's Detroit to be bad, and the third game that I have on pre-order right now is Mass Effect Andromeda, and I want to. If it's bad, I want to see how it's bad, and I want to experience what makes it bad. So, but yeah, I mean, like the No Man's Sky, I did not pre-order, and I still have not bought it because it looks like more of a disaster than I was hoping for, and so I don't want to, especially because I wanted to play it on PC.
Did you see the news about the tweet that got released? They tweeted No Man's Sky was a mistake.
Oh, did the developers tweet that?
Yeah, and it got deleted like 15 minutes after, and then they've blamed it. They've given every news outlet a different story. They've told some people it was a hacker. No. Some people it was a disgruntled employee, and they've told some people it was fucking the main guy himself. And it's like this whole fucking scandal.
Wow, I want to look this up. Drama is so much fun.
It's like the Joker. Do you know how I got this tweet? Or something like that, no?
Man, it's so much fun to like get people up on a gigantic pedestal and have them be the center of attention, only to just knock them down and destroy their lives.
Out of them.
I can't wait until it's me. I can't wait until I'm in the hot seat. All right. Oh, yeah, it was a tweet. Okay, well, that's kind of funny. Sites hack. Oh, that's always the worst. When you say that you got hacked after a tweet. With Twitter, I could potentially believe that because Twitter is just so insecure. But I mean, most of the time it's just like really hack, because you can. I think you can, search up or like provide evidence of you being hacked if that was the case. or there should be evidence from Twitter or Facebook or whatever platform to say whether or not they were hacked if they wanted to bring out that information. I don't know.
Can I just say that I just wanted to bring this up just kind of for shits and giggles. I think the funniest thing that you ever put, one of the funniest things, I can't actually put it on top of a pedestal and say that it is the funniest thing that you ever did in the video. Funniest things that I laughed the hardest at was when it was in your Walking Dead, when you're talking about how Herschel is putting the zombies into the barn, and you go, does he just open the barn door really zombie? And you laugh in the middle of the take, and I was in tears at that.
I appreciate that. But what's kind of funny about that is almost there are certain points where like I think that it adds to it if I'm not completely deadpanning like one line every once in a while. But almost every time I do that, there'll be some comment of somebody saying like, "Ooh, even the YMS guy couldn't have a straight face, couldn't say that with a straight face or whatever." But yeah, there's the most recent example of that would be in the video I just published, the childhood trauma part 1. I wanted to sort of, illustrate through my voice the ridiculousness of the transference of energy project. So I purposefully got a good take of me not saying it as deadpan as I could, because it's dumb. Transference of energy. Someone should just watch that whole episode because it's pretty funny.
Was that Are You Afraid of the Dark or Goosebumps?
No. It was the Are You Afraid of the Dark one.
Got it. I was having a hard time remembering it. Yeah, like little moments like that. Just.
I'm glad you enjoy it.
Did you say glad you enjoyed
it?
I thought you said why do you enjoy it, and I was like, putting me on the spot there.
Oh, no worries. No, I'm glad you enjoy it. I'm glad that my content is able to make people not as bored. I'm glad I'm able to dissuade the constant impending sense of boredom on everyone's life for 20 minutes every couple weeks.
Oh, Adam, I was wondering, are you planning on seeing Into the Inferno, the Werner Herzog documentary?
It was a possibility when I was at TIFF, and I decided that I would rather see it like at home or something.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, like, only because it was kind of conflicting with other shows I wanted to see. Oh, look, it's on Netflix, apparently.
Oh,
it's Netflix original. Okay. October 28th. Oh, right. That is yesterday. Okay. No, okay.
Last thing that I'm gonna say because I gotta leave.
Sure.
I just used the PlayStation VR and I played a game, Job Simulator, because I saw you and Mark having some.
Oh, that's on PSVR now?
Yeah.
I had no idea.
And I'm curious, like, where do you think that VR is going in the future? Do you think it's gonna be a thing, or is it just a gimmick for now?
Well, I mean, there's people interested in it, and it is, it really depends on the application. It's never going to replace, non-VR titles, but it is something that people have interest in. And, like I bought Gen 1 of the Vive, and I think that I'll be buying Gen 2 whenever it's out. Like, I want to continue seeing it grow and fund these sort of things. And whether it's, really fun, cool, immersive games or just porn, there's a market for it. You can't ignore it. The VR's for porn.
We get these two pads and touch the titty.
Yeah. You have no idea. There's porn on it already. But anyway, I mean, like the market's there. So it's not gonna die. I don't think it's gonna be one of those things where it's like, people stop making shit for it. And now, especially knowing that there's so many, major players in the gaming industry that are backing it and creating content for it, and like Justin Roiland's doing, VR games now, and like different major publishers are, considering and already in the process of making, virtual reality games themselves. It's a market that people want to see succeed and want to see grow. And so I think, I mean, I don't, there's too much money behind it and too many wealthy contributors behind it for it to fuck up at this point. And there's interest, there's interest. There's people that want it, and it's such a fun thing to show other people, Like,
I know.
If you have one in your home, and like every time you have a person over who's never tried it, you want to show it to them. You're like, ooh, like I've got virtual reality, and it's always so much fun to capture like their first experience on it.
I know, like the demo kitchen that was
the IKEA one.
No, the demo of the Resident Evil game that they're making VR for. It's pretty cool, and I always have people play that game because they always remove the headset.
I wonder how long it'll take before VR gets to that point where we see it in the movies where they get on the latex suit and they get into the big VR room and they start like.
If it requires a latex suit, I'm not fucking doing it. That's where I draw the line. No goddamn latex suits.
Yeah, some people are into that sort of thing.
I think that would be the funniest thing ever if it required a latex suit.
That'd be pretty funny. That'd be really funny for like a Gen 1 of VR. Like, hey guys, we're starting up virtual reality now, and this is what it is. You have to like lube yourself into this suit and get all like slimed up, like.
Here's 50 gallons of Vaseline.
Yeah.
But then you or the controller, you're just like room on, and then you can shoot lasers at your butt.
You have to like remove your floor and replace it with this like touch sensitive padding, and then just slide around it.
It's a giant mechanical treadmill.
Yeah. It's like suddenly the gigantic Amazon like 20-gallon barrel of lube starts selling like crazy. It's like in the recommended to purchase. It's like people who viewed this item also
bought.
Yeah. It's helpful.
But it was fun talking to you, Adam. I'm a big fan
thank
of your
you
show,
very much for your support.
We'll keep supporting you guys.
Thank you so much. I'll see you next month maybe.
Yeah.
Later.
I appreciate it. Bye.
Who's that guy?
Amazon has a shit ton of stuff, especially the American Amazon.
Yeah, I ordered a bunch of incense from Amazon, and I've got the Prime. They were supposed to get here in 2 days, and
a bunch of what from Amazon?
8 days. Incense. It's the shit hippies burn.
I don't have good experiences with like pre-ordering on Amazon.
Yeah,
there's been some times where they've screwed that up, and it's like the whole like if you want to enter this market of being able to mail people things and have it show up when they're supposed to, like as opposed like because people want things fast, right?
Well, I have a friend that lives in LA where they're demoing their drone delivery service.
Oh, that's funny.
And he got something in like 10 minutes. And
that's interesting.
I wanted to fucking strangle him.
That's cool. That'd be nice.
Yeah.
One day.
I think I've had usually good experiences with Amazon pre-order.
Yeah.
But the only thing I've ever pre-ordered on Amazon was movies, and they would arrive on my doorstep day of, and I would just be like, "Oh, they're very nice."
I don't know. Being in Canada, it's a little different, I think.
Canada.
Yeah, I pre-ordered the Rick and Morty season 2 Blu-ray, and they just literally never stocked it. And it was like that was like June or something when it came out. Until I was finally like, okay, it's been like 4 months, and I called them. They're like, oh, sorry, we can't. Like they just refunded me, and I was like, okay, well, guess I'm gonna buy it on eBay instead. Like, what was it? Why did you let me pre-order it? Why did you even let me and then not stock your product?
I've actually had a lot more success with eBay as well. In that they would eBay would always, tell me what day it would arrive, and I would anticipate that day. But every time I've ordered something from eBay, it always arrives like 3 or 4 days early.
Yeah.
Great.
Yeah. I enjoy Amazon for their, like 2-day shipping or whatever, Prime membership. Because I prefer to order things online than go to the store anyway. But eBay is good for some items. eBay is good for like harder to find, or like if you want a price comparison, think you can get it cheaper, then eBay is usually good for that.
Oh, wait, I was wondering, any of you participate in the Criterion flash sale?
Yeah. The flash sales, they happen all the time.
Yeah.
They happen like every month or so.
What is Criterion?
Criterion is a collection of films that are given pretty dank releases by the company Criterion, and such films include Antichrist and Fantastic Mr. Fox, and a bunch of they specialize on older shit, so you can get like Jean-Luc Godard's Breathless, you can get like Roman Polanski's Repulsion, and The Seventh Seal, and Bergman, Tarkovsky, etc., etc., etc. They've got a bunch of cool stuff, and really good physical. It's a great physical media product to have, because they don't load it with a bunch of bullshit trailers and DRM and shit. No anti-piracy well, they have some DRM obviously, but no anti-piracy warning at the beginning. Literally, you pop it in and you're at the menu and you can just start watching the movie instead of having to wait for like 2 minutes. So that's nice. Awesome. And they always pack them full of like special features and shit. So they're a really good company for like physical media releases, I think.
I was also wondering, Adam, do you have any Arrow video releases? Because I just got.
I don't even know what that is.
Oh, so it's like kind of the British version of Criterion in ways, and like they started like an American like branch of it. And I got the Battle Royale like hard box set thing. It's just really, really great presentation.
Yeah, I'm always a fan of like cool physical media releases. Side note, it's Winona Ryder's birthday today, says IMDb. And her face was on the front page, and the image that's used for her IMDb profile right now is fucking funny as shit. She looks insane. She looks crazy. Okay, she looks like that picture of who is that woman? Remember when there was that U.S. Republican politician lady, and like I think it was maybe Time magazine or some magazine used her photo, and it was like, and people thought it was too offensive because she looked crazy in the photo. They made her look like a mentally challenged person, but they didn't do anything to the photo. It was just how she looks. Who was that lady? Who was she?
I think it's Sarah Palin.
It's not Sarah Palin.
Not Sarah Palin?
It's one of the Sarah Palin 2.0s.
Oh shit!
Who was it?
Oh God! How am I supposed to Google something like that? I don't fucking know.
Just Google Sarah Palin.
Fuck. Michelle Bachmann? I think it was Michelle Bachmann.
Michelle Bachmann. That sounds right.
Yeah. Bachmann. Yes.
Bachmann.
Yes, it has to have been Bachmann. I remember because she
magazine cover. This is it. It was Newsweek, where they used a photo that like she looks absolutely insane. But I wouldn't even say like even like the very extremely liberal Young Turks were like, oh yeah, you shouldn't use that photograph because it makes her look crazy. I think they're ignoring the fact that like she looks like that all the fucking time. Yeah, she looks that crazy. How can you find a photo of her that doesn't look like that? That's how she looks. This is her. She looks that insane all the fucking time.
Oh. Yeah. Hey, what's going on, Adam?
Hey, not too much. How are you doing?
Not bad.
Good. We were just talking about Michelle Bachmann's crazy face. and also Winona Ryder's crazy face.
Yeah, Winona Ryder.
Her IMDb profile picture looks really funny right now.
Want to talk about crazy faces? Why not Zoidberg?
Yes.
Ah, yes.
Winona Ryder's pretty good. I like her.
Yeah.
Winona Ryder.
Did she get like
Ryder? Ghost Ryder.
In the sky. Didn't she get like arrested like a couple years back for shoplifting?
I don't remember.
I don't know. Maybe. I have no idea. I don't want to start a music review channel. I don't want to compete with Dankfany Fanbrango.
I love how Shitpostbot has an entire bot dedicated to it called like Shitpostany Botano or something like that.
That's funny.
Yeah.
Fucking amazing. I have an Eclipse one too.
Have you made any songs recently, Adam? I haven't heard them.
I haven't published any, but I've been in the recording studio once a week since like June, prepping for a big album that is probably going to be ready between mid to late 2017. So don't
Are you just
expect
gonna
it
release
until
it on your channel, or?
Yes.
Okay.
That's the plan. I don't know.
Awesome.
The plan is to self-fund it. It's a professional studio, so it's a little pricey, but since I'm only doing it once a week and I'm not just piling them all at once, I'm able to afford it. And what's going to happen is I'm going to complete the album, have some songs to show off, and then I'll do a Kickstarter campaign because I'll actually have something to show instead of doing it before I have anything to show. And the Kickstarter campaign will be perhaps to offset some of the costs that I've already put into it. B, most importantly, I should have said this is A actually, but like the Kickstarter will primarily be for physical release because I would like, as much as I intend to just publish it on YouTube anyway, because like I said earlier, the end goal isn't to put my own content behind a paywall. The end goal is to share what I create, right? Somebody's got a bit of echo that I heard a little.
By the way,
I would like to get a vinyl out, is what I was about to say. It's just like I would like to get a physical CD release probably, but most importantly a vinyl. I think that would be pretty cool. And since vinyl printing is really expensive, and there would need to be some sort of an indication that they would sell, I think that Kickstarter is really appropriate for that. And by that point, when I'm getting ready to do the release, I'll be able to show off what the album sounds like and what it's about, and it'll be pretty much done by the time that rolls around. And I think that's much smarter than to be like, oh, hey guys, I'm making an album, but I don't have anything to show for it. Please donate. I think that I think it's better and more appropriate to prove that the money being donated is actually going towards something that sounds good, or that people can say that they enjoy or something. So anyway,
real quick, I just want to thank Robert here because I'd asked earlier if like Winona Ryder had gotten caught for like shoplifting or something.
Oh,
he provided a video link.
Oh yeah, that's that.
What?
It's Winona
is she
Ryder.
Caught on camera shoplifting?
Oh, yeah.
Caught on camera?
In 2001.
Caught on
fake, but it's actually real.
That's funny. That's really funny. She does that. This is mine. Oh, that's so funny. Somebody posted in the chat for the vlog people too. The people participating in the YouTube chat. Oh my God, they made her come back in. That's so embarrassing. Why would you do that? It looked like a very like average store too. It looked like Sears or some shit.
Yeah, or JCPenney.
Yeah. But yeah, I'm excited for the album to be done. It is coming together very well, and I guess I can't. I don't know. I don't know what I'm supposed to say about it at this point, but I'm not gonna stop until it's how I want it to be. That's all I gotta say.
You've got an album cover?
I want to say, like, since you brought up your album and all that good stuff, I wanted to mention how surprised I was the first time I realized that you were not only a movie reviewer doing the funny stuff that I like, but you were also a musician and a damn good one.
I appreciate
it. I listened to some of your songs and I'm like, dude, this guy's got a really good singing voice. I was really surprised. So I just wanted to, just throw that in there.
I appreciate it. The material that exists right now is not an accurate reflection of my current abilities. So I think the album I'm working on will be even better now that it's actually being recorded at a professional studio. But to answer, I don't remember. I don't know who asked this, but they asked about the album cover. I don't have an album cover made. I've got, ideas in my head, but I don't really want to talk about an album cover right now because I think that that's something that I would like to worry about in 6 months from now instead. Or so.
Definitely have to check out the album, please.
You'll know about it. I mean, like, I'm gonna pimp it out on my film review channel, obviously. But yeah, I'm excited to see it come to fruition. I wish I could share the progress that has been made so far, but I don't think that would be a good idea. It's never a good idea to release like half full songs or like half finished songs.
Right.
So I'm just a little anxious to get it out.
I've released videos that I felt like were half finished at the time, and I've always regretted it.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. And with a song especially, it's like I want people to know it as the finished product. I don't want people to get familiar with a different version of it, which I mean is inevitable for 2 of the songs on the album having had previous versions recorded of it. So like Fragments and Spools of Thread are getting redone, I think. I mean, like the mentality that I'm bringing to the project is that I'm not going to get hung up on ideas that I have for it at the very beginning. Like if it winds up turning into something else, then I'm just gonna like go with it. I have a really good idea of what I want the final product to be, but if there's a song that I can't figure out how to get it to work, I'm not going to be like, oh no, like I've already spent all this time on this song, it has to be in the album even though it's bad. I'm just going to cut it from the album. And I've already done that with one song because I didn't feel like it was appropriate for the album. So right now the track listing is at like 15, I think. Who knows? It might, by the end product, it might be 12, it might be 18, I don't know. But I'm making decisions based on how things are working. So yeah, I don't know. I just feel like it's important to give as much flexibility as possible for projects like this. If you start constraining yourself and making unnecessary restrictions, then that's how you make bad art. That's how projects go bad, That's what I think anyway. Someone's got some background noise that is very strange. Sounds like a washing machine or something. I don't know. Some sort of like noise, like maybe a fan.
I have a fan going. Me, Steve.
Oh, yeah. I think it is you.
It's a blender for making salsa while you video chat.
It's not like the worst noise in the world.
Yeah, I turned it off.
Nice meme. But yeah.
Oh no! I hope I don't get my hand in this.
Yeah, I don't hear it anymore, so that's fine. Thank you.
Yeah.
That'd be funny if like one day I just showed up on video chat and I pulled an unfriended. If I just like went along with it. Just got a fake blender.
Who remembers Will It Blend, that YouTube channel?
I remember that.
Oh my god.
I think that's still a thing. Is it not still a thing?
Are they still uploading is the question, really.
I don't think so. Does anybody remember?
I somehow have doubts that it's very active.
Yeah. It's like idea to microwave this. Anybody watch them back in the old days?
Are you talking about Jog Wheel or something else?
They did the iPhone 7, so it's fairly recent.
Oh wow, he's
don't
still doing
this.
They don't even have 1 million subscribers. I'm very surprised because like there's so many channels from back in the day that it's just like,
yeah,
they're still getting like every video they've posted that says the word blend in it still has over 100,000 views, but they're not posting very frequently.
No, it's just every couple of months.
Yeah, they might be making some like all right cash off of it, I guess, but they're not. Yeah, they don't. Yeah, if they were still on top of it, then maybe. It's one of those things where you have to stay like super relevant and topical in order for it to
be blended like.
Will a Samsung Note 7 explode in a blender?
They need to blend an entire HTC Vive, like all the components.
Oh no!
And
yeah, they need to be more like obnoxious about it.
Yeah, the Nintendo Switch blend.
Well, it's not out yet. But...
That'd be incredible.
You could just start being like a massive shit poster and be like, will this YouTube video blend, and just play different videos on a phone that you blend. Just like will all the single furries blend, and then people would watch it as long as you're good at memeing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, part of the reason I
buy that channel, be a cash cow.
Yeah, I should be in charge of everything artistic that happens on the planet.
Right.
I have all the better ideas than everybody else.
Yeah.
Part of the reason I actually brought up the channel is because I was lucky enough yesterday at my college to have a like local TV interview with Freddie Wong.
Oh, nice.
We were talking about like pre-Google Plus YouTube and like even pre-YouTube like albino black sheep and Flash videos.
And like Bomb's World and
Ultimate Showdown of Ultimate Destiny and the Badger or whatever. It was
now it's in my head. Good guys and explosions for all the guys to sing, and only one will survive. I wonder who it will be.
They had some other good songs actually. That was like one of my big introductions to like, because that was when I was pretty young.
Lemon Demon, I think, was the
that's the name.
Yeah,
they some decent stuff. It was entertaining.
It was fun. Man, you know what's fucking funny? People complain all the time about my like half mustache thing that's going on. I just shaved. I have really thick hair, and so it's like the only way I'm ever going to prevent it is if I just start wearing makeup, and I don't really feel like doing that. You know, I have really thick hair. I'm a real horse. It's too thick, so you'll always see my mustache. I just shaved. How do I do this? How do I fix this shit?
I need verbal confirmation. Did Mark actually post a dick pic as a thumbnail in his thing?
As a thumbnail for what?
For his marketplace. Or whatever it was.
I don't know if maybe there's some like conflicting. The impression I got was that he just shared a dick pic on Imager, and then was like in the middle of his stream was just like, "Hey guys, I'm leaking my own nudes, so that way it will never happen." So I'll be if I leak my own nudes, then no one can leak my nudes, sort of thing. Which I just kind of found funny, I guess.
All kinds of people are trying to leak Mark's nudes.
Yeah, what's funny about it is like you can't even tell. I don't know which ones are his dick pics, because if somebody like asks for them in chat, people just post random dicks anyway. So it's like, unless someone's face is in the picture, you can't really say it. I can post there's pictures of my dick on the internet, but no one can tell it's me, right? Like, you can't, unless I did it like right in front of the Creed sanctuary, that would be funny. Like a big boner. It's like with the Scott Stapp body pillow. Oh, that's what he should do. That's how he should leak his own dick.
Was it you doing the pyro-cynical voice impression?
Yeah.
In that video?
That
was fucking legendary.
Why, thank you.
That was...
Oh, man. I should, if I'm going to do it now, I mean, I should just reference one of his videos real quick. Oh, it's so much easier to do not on face cam.
Oh.
Feeling the pressure. Let's see if I can.
He's apparently doing all kinds of face cam stuff.
Oh yeah,
very brave.
Very weird because like
very brave of him. His voice does not match his face.
No, not at all.
Not even remotely.
There's some YouTubers who it's like you grow so accustomed to just the voice that you almost don't want a face sort of thing. It's like, regardless of what their face looks like.
Like,
there's so many YouTubers where it's just like
extremely attractive, but I don't want to see his face in all of these videos. Yeah, I would fuck Critical.
So I was just on YouTube the other day.
I can't even. No, yeah. Fuck. What should I feed me some lines? What would he say?
I'm feeling less stable.
I'm feeling less stable.
I can't.
About the aftershock of yesterday's video, I'm so insulted.
After the aftershock of yesterday's video, I'm feeling so insulted.
I can't. Not getting it as good.
I'm a crippled baby pooping in my diaper.
That's a good line.
I was on YouTube the other day, and
oh fuck.
Somebody asked me to say, I'm a crippled baby.
I've lost it. I need it back. There's like certain words and phrases that I can do. Like
YouTube.
It's like tube instead of tube.
Yeah.
YouTube. Leafy.
Yeah, just talk about how like Leafy's getting hate.
Leafy vid.
Sorry?
Just talk about how Leafy's getting hate, and now's your chance to gain subs.
So everybody's been jumping on this bandwagon of Leafy vid and scarce.
I can't fucking do it anymore. I'm not doing it as good as I did in that video. There was a magical thing that happened there.
Hey guys, welcome to a brand new video on the goddamn internet.
Mark's Leafy impression was just
it was incredible. So like someone should be hiring him to make you could hire that Leafy impression out for scandal videos. You could
yeah, but what do you take, $20?
Makes them interesting. Like, yeah. how easy yeah.
Oh, the scarce voice. That was pretty funny.
Yeah.
Just sound like Kermit?
Pretty much. I don't know. I feel like, I over-exaggerated his voice a little, for sure. But, I mean, he does have a pretty funny, like, voice in terms of, especially, like, what kind of a channel he is. Because it's like the juxtaposition between, like, his presentation and Keemstar's presentation, even though they're both kind of covering the same things. Yeah. It's just so drastically different.
I liked his content when he
first came out, I don't really not digging him so much lately.
Which one? Keemstar or Scarce?
Oh no. Neither Keemstar nor Scarce. I thought we were still talking about Pyrocynical.
Oh.
Never mind.
He's a fun guy.
I didn't like H3 for the longest time, but I've been getting really into them lately.
Yeah.
I think they're a really, really great channel.
I enjoy
my go-to guy for a while. My go-to guy for YouTube drama was Leafy, but that was after I got into the main person I watch for YouTube drama, and I switched back to him. Grade A under A. It's great.
Yeah, he's fun. There's I think the criticism against him is a little overstated at this point. But
yeah,
I mean, like, I never thought he was like the perfect go-to person to like to adopt his thoughts into my own sort of thing. Like, I was never under the impression of like, oh yeah, grade A is like this messiah or something. Like, I don't know what people expected at this point.
There was a big exposed video that went around that
there's plenty of them now for some reason.
Oh yeah,
and it's like, can you call him out on being like a little hypocritical sometimes when it comes to like what constitutes as drama and what isn't drama? Sure, but is it really like, I think people are giving him too much of a bad rap right now. I think people are kind of like just picking on him just as one of those like, oh yeah, bring someone up and then tear him down. Like, we're all on this bandwagon of needing to take our anger out on a person. I don't know. Maybe that's what's happening. Maybe, I don't know. Maybe I'm uninformed. But
I think it might partially be like some kind of retaliation against his attack on Star or something.
Yeah,
I'm not even like all too familiar with that.
So. Star's an asshole. I mean,
yeah, he is.
He's like, he's an indefensible asshole.
I've always kind of like felt like Keemstar is like I've always been like more or less okay with him because he serves a purpose as a like as kind of a cartoon character in a way. Like it's just like all you need to do is just take one of your parents or something, take someone who's in their like 40s and 50s, and then just show them a screenshot of like Drama Alert with Keemstar and like the gold and the popcorn and like this like just it's so ridiculous that all you need to do is just send a screenshot to an older person and they'll be like, what has the internet become? Like, who is this person and why are people listening to this person? And it's so good. But I mean, like, I've always kind of just been okay with him more or less. That like, maybe just the bigotry of low expectations, you could call it.
Yeah.
But the only thing that really bothered me, like, in a level where I was like, oh, why'd you do that? Was when he started accusing Tommy NC 2010 of faking his autism, and I was just like, You've clearly jumped in on his channel at like a weird time and you don't understand the whole catalog of his videos. And so to be making those accusations without actually like understanding and experiencing the catalog of Tommy NC 2010 is a little irresponsible. And it seemed like he didn't really care what the overall implications of his actions would be if he did that. It seemed like sometimes I feel like he gets in this mindset where like that sort of like, oh, he must be faking it conspiracy theory. Like he wants so bad to be able to like expose or uncover something that like he's more concerned about doing it than actually making sure that it's accurate. And I like it was a little upsetting to me because like I don't think Tommy deserves that really, you know.
Yeah, I think the same goes for the pedophile accusations that he makes.
Yeah, that was pretty monumental.
Yeah, like Pyrocynical and what was the other one?
It's kind of yeah, exactly. Like it's kind of a really irresponsible thing to be making accusations about. Yeah. You know, like pedophilia. If you're not like sure. If you don't have evidence, you can't just like throw these things out there like, ooh, they told me in private chat, they told me in their DMs that you did this. Like, don't do that. You can't do that. And I don't care if you just think like, oh yeah, I'm going to get a lot of attention, or like, oh, I just don't like them and I want people to be like making these speculations at a person. Like, if you don't want that done to you, you know, like there should be some sense of standards even for Keemstar, you know, to not throw like unconfirmed pedophilia accusations at other people when you know that your fan base is a little fucking like rabid and there's a bunch of 12 to 14 year olds that are looking for an excuse to raid someone's channel, you know, like I just feel like it's a little irresponsible. But I mean, at this point with him on like the Baited podcast, I guess, like it's kind of I'm enjoying seeing him in an environment where he's not the only voice, and I think part of what makes that podcast so funny and enjoyable to a lot of people is like he continues being the same person and he continues being this cartoon character, but other people call him out on it, and there's a little bit of back and forth rather than just like the one person, right?
Yeah. And the term you used earlier, the bit of a circle jerk.
It's a fun, yeah. It's a cool idea for a podcast. Is that
somebody's got a lot of noises going on right now.
Yeah, somebody's on their keyboard or something. Oops. Yeah. Yeah, some mics are more sensitive than others, but Mark's sleeping. His sleep schedule was as screwed up as mine, but I had a friend that shared some marijuana with me, and I don't even really smoke all that much, but I smoked last night because it was whatever strain of it that supposedly helps you sleep or whatever. So then I think I fixed my sleep schedule. I smoked a big joint. It wasn't that big. It was only half of it. And I took some melatonin and then I slept. And so thank you, Danielle, for helping me sleep. It was a good idea. Maybe I should get a medical marijuana card, because pretty much in Vancouver, all you really have to do is just show up to one of them and be like, I'm having trouble sleeping. Oh, here you go. Like literally that's it. You can get a medical marijuana card just like that in Vancouver.
I should. So, another reason why I want to move to
Canada. Hey, Marzane. Yeah, it's it's decriminalized in Vancouver, but in the surrounding areas of Vancouver, it's RCMP's jurisdiction and considered still illegal, I guess. But nobody in Vancouver really cares. Supposedly getting legalization at some point in 2017. We'll see. I'm really hoping that people continue putting pressure on Trudeau for not just that, but also electoral reform. And really don't want the TPP. So we'll see what happens there. Really kind of upsetting. But well, I mean, the Liberal Party in Canada has already said that they would do it before they got elected, and people still voted for them. I voted NDP, if anyone's curious, which is if you're not in Canada, you probably have no idea what that is. It's a left-leaning party. But I mean, anyway, the whole point of the last election was just to get Harper out. So I guess I can't complain because we succeeded. But now we have a Liberal majority instead of a mixed representation. So we'll see.
I have a separate question. How do you feel about Vine being deleted?
Great. I feel like it will improve society overall.
It'll improve YouTube. No more of those stupid comps.
Oh.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, although, who knows? Maybe YouTube might step in and implement a automatic repeat feature for certain videos under like 8 seconds or something to try and compete. That would be smart.
Maybe
if they were smart, they could do that.
Yeah, actually, it would.
I see no reason why not to. But anyway, I mean, like I've always kind of just felt like, yeah. Shut up, real Jerry Seinfeld. I'm not a hypocrite for hating Vine, even though I had one. I hated Vine before I had an account too, and I made it because I was like, well, Vines are so stupid that I can make a good one that gets viral, even if I don't even put any effort into it. And you know what? I did. So it was just to prove that I could, and I might as well be networking since my money is made off of networking on the internet. But anyway, I've always felt about Vine like there's nothing that you can do on Vine that you can't do on any other video platform that already exists. So it was just so annoying. I don't know. I've always
I tried a couple years back when Vine came out. I tried to make a bunch of videos on Vine. I put a lot of effort into it. The only Vine that ever got successful for me was a Vine where I mimed kicking a dog into a tree, and that was just simply because they trolled on me, and I was just
there was no
kicked into a tree.
There's really like no vines that had to be vines for them to be good, you know?
Right.
Like you could make you can upload a 7-second video on YouTube.
Yeah.
You can upload an 8-second video onto YouTube. And you know what was even fucking funnier is like Vine, as of I don't know how many months ago, but very recently they started implementing the like, ooh, now you can upload full-length videos to Vine and there's no more restriction. I'm like, well then what's the point of it being a Vine then? Like clearly they were suffering a little and were trying things out, but whatever. Would I move to LA? Maybe. I've always said that I want to stay in Vancouver, but housing market's shit. We might actually be getting kicked out again.
Oh no.
Oh no.
Yeah. But I'll keep you posted on that. I'm actually very upset about it, and I don't have all the details. But we'll see what happens. And
Is it more?
It's kind of making me a little. What's the word?
Perplexed.
Opposite of optimistic. Pessimistic about the future of just living here. If this is gonna happen to me every year, so I'll keep you posted. But it's really frustrating market here. It's the landlords rule over everybody else, and you can't do shit about it. So I can't really say anything more about it though. So we don't have all the details, which is unsurprising. But,
yeah.
No. I'm gonna refill my water. So I'll be back in a second. I'm gonna see if I can wake Mark up. I know that the stream's gonna end in like 45 minutes anyway, but I'm gonna see if maybe he's ready to wake up now. He was super passed out before, so I don't know. We'll see. BRB guys. I'll be back in like less than 5 minutes.
Okay.
So, how's everyone's week been?
Not bad.
Post nudes.
Yep.
My week's been good.
Someone just say I'm in Sweden.
Oh, cool. Whereabouts in Sweden?
Asleep. Oh, there.
Cool.
I guess we should introduce ourselves. I don't think we ever got a chance to do that.
You have a Max Steel poster in your bedroom. I'm happy about that.
Yeah, I went to see that last week. It was terrible.
Was it so shitty that they gave you a free poster to like maybe try and endorse it before it just tanked?
Oh no, we went in and it was like we went to the 10/10 showing, me and my friend, and the theater that we went to was entirely empty, and and we came in. We were already giggling. We wanted. I called and came in, and I said I want to see Max Steel. And there's like, and the ticket people started laughing at that too because it had completely bombed. And this was like the day after it released.
Yeah.
And one of the ticket guys came up with this stack of movie posters. It's like, you want one of these? We can't get rid of them. Sure, why not? We went to go see this movie.
Oh, geez.
So bad, and I ended up like the two of us were alone in the theater, and we're just screaming at the movie theater the whole time, just shouting insults at the actors, the cinematography. By the time I come out of the theater, it's completely hoarse. I can't say a word without like squeaking like this. I was just like going around to the movie staff who were just all just totally just they'd seen it all, so they were just. I came over and I was just like, "Don't see Max Steel," and they're just nodding knowingly, just like, "Yep, we know it's bad."
You should have taken all the posters.
I had the misfortune of going to see 31 by Rob Zombie on early screening. I paid like extra money to see it early.
Why?
I don't mind some of his movies, and I thought that it might be good. And I have to say that Doomhead in that movie made the entire thing, but everything that didn't have Doomhead in it was just absolute ass. It was so bad.
Yeah, I'm not surprised.
Mark's dead.
Not surprising.
He's dead. We
Oh
killed him.
no! Oh, that's sad. When's the funeral?
Did the rat get trapped?
What?
Did the rat get trapped?
Yes.
Okay.
We're having rat soup.
Good night,
Night.
Let's see. B movie 2, is that actually happening?
Is that a thing?
Oh,
Wow. I mean, I saw the tweet
happening.
of Jerry Seinfeld saying he'd like to do it, but that doesn't mean it's happening.
Did you see that Edge of Tomorrow 2 is going to be a prequel sequel?
So just a prequel.
I know.
If we're gonna-
I was
if
so
we're gonna
confused
be
by the wording
honest
of that.
about
I was like, what?
prequels.
I like how that's news.
Yeah.
I'm excited. I don't know. I'm excited to see what it is. I hope
If
it
it's a
completely
prequel-
rewrites everything.
If it's a prequel and a sequel, don't they have a term for that? Isn't that a midquel?
I think it's just a prequel.
Yep. It could be like a Memento version of the B movie or something like that.
Oh my god.
The
Yeah,
Memento
I mean, that whole thing really
movie.
started from Borderlands with the pre-sequel there.
Yeah. Yeah, who knows?
I'm still mad about
I
the
don't know.
3 titles for the first movie. That's why I just call it All You Need Is Live, Die Tomorrow.
Die another day. That's what it should have been called. Yeah. I don't know. It was an all-right movie, but I mean, I don't know. You've seen my review probably of it. It doesn't make any sense. I wish it made sense. I don't expect the movie to follow any rules other than the ones that it sets up for its own universe. And yet
Which
there's
it
like
then
26
breaks.
minutes worth of ranting about how it didn't. I love it when people watch that shit and they're like, no, you just don't understand time travel, and they just don't explain themselves. I'm like, no. These are the rules that the movie set up, and the movie is refusing to follow its own rules. That's the issue I have. It's like this is how the movie said things works, and then it just went completely against that, which is the fate of the vast majority of time travel movies. Pretty much every single movie other than Primer and 12 Monkeys, yeah. Those are the only two that don't contradict themselves massively. I haven't seen any other time travel movies really that are consistent and follow their own rules. Which is very sad.
Predestination?
No, I don't know much about it.
It's interesting, kind of like a sleeper time travel.
Yeah.
I enjoyed it.
Yeah.
I really did too. I thought it was really great which was it's a shame that came out in 2014. It's a shame you didn't get a chance to see it.
It was one of those weird, like, was it 2014 or 2015 limited release things?
Yeah.
Well, might be counted as 2015.
Yeah.
I would love to see some Shane Carruth Criterion releases. In fact, I think that Primer would do pretty well as a Criterion. Even Upstream Color, I would argue. I think that those would sell pretty decent. Yeah, I have an actual DVD copy of Primer, which is apparently very difficult to find.
Cool.
I don't know if they're still printing those or not. The highest quality you can find it on is like the iTunes web ripper, whatever. The
Netflix quality isn't that good for Primer.
Yeah, I always hate when things are released in HD and the only way to watch them in HD is to get a digital version of it. Because I like I'm not gonna buy a physical DVD and then also buy the iTunes. I want to watch it in the best quality and I want to have a physical copy. So like, I'm gonna do one or the other, right? It's a little annoying.
I also
copies in high definition. How long? Like we saw the fizzing out of the VHS rather quickly after the DVD came out. So I'm just wondering, how long do you think it's going to take before Blu-ray completely supersedes DVD and we don't see them anymore?
Isn't that already projected to happen? I don't know. Like I thought I saw an article on the other day of like DVDs just being phased out like VHS. Because like the type of people that would continue buying DVDs over Blu-ray are also the type of people that would, just watch things on Netflix instead. Netflix has become such a like ingrained, super easy and accessible part of entertainment in society that most people who don't really care about like the best quality they can get and just want things to be convenient and easy are going to use Netflix, and that's what it's turned into. Like the people that are still buying physical media, I think, are generally like collector people who want the Blu-ray, who want the best possible quality, et cetera, like myself. Like the only times where I would ever buy a DVD are for things that never got a Blu-ray release, like May, Primer. Smiley Face has a Blu-ray release, but it's like German Region B for some reason. Yeah, there's plenty of things like shit. I'll have to look at my collection, but I know there's Cool Cat Saves the Kids. Never got a Blu-ray.
When's the next one of those coming out?
I don't know.
Oh man,
I don't know.
I mean, the whole thing with I Hate Everything and Daddy Derek prevents me from buying a copy of Cool Cat Saves the Kids.
It doesn't prevent me from buying it, but I completely understand and empathize with your position.
I'm gonna buy the next one. I'm totally psyched for it.
Yeah, seriously though, if it were not for that whole debacle, I would have bought a copy of Cool Cat Save the Kids as soon as I possibly could.
So Neil Breen's Pass-Through is available to purchase online now.
Is it really?
It is now. I have not received my copy yet. Supposedly they're being shipped out in a couple weeks or something. But what's really a little annoying about it, and I've archived the page just because if I do a review, I might mention this. What's really annoying about it is there are two options for shipping. One is domestic NTSC DVD, so in US, and the other is international PAL DVD. But Canada is international shipping, but uses NTSC and not PAL. So why are you leaving out Canada, buddy? Why are you like Canada doesn't use PAL? Like this isn't the imperial metric system where USA is the only thing out there that uses it.
Those are Neil Breen's mind. Oh man, $30.
He must assume it's just like the imperial system, where like America is the only country that is so stubborn that they won't change, and every other country is using it. But yeah, NTSC is Canada, and so I ordered both. And we'll see if he ships me an NTSC or a PAL, but I believe that I could probably rip it onto my computer either way. So
yeah.
All right, guys, I gotta go.
All right, thank you for joining. Thank you for your support.
Take care.
I appreciate it.
Bye.
Bye.
Artificial intelligence from far into the future arrives to immediately cleanse all capitals.
Basically, like Hitler.
He's a legend. He's just.
So is this another I Am Here Now?
It looks like a better version of I Am Here Now.
It really does.
I love that he's incorporating more like special effects into it, seemingly. Like the trailer showed a lot of funny shit.
I still think Double Down is the best one that he's released so far.
Everybody has a different favorite, honestly. There's no unanimous like best Neil Breen. Mine's Fateful Findings. My roommate thinks it's I Am Here Now. So, I mean, everybody's got a different favorite.
I was definitely disappointed with I Am Here Now.
I can understand. There's not enough Breen. There's too many other characters.
Yeah.
But it's still pretty funny.
A lot of people don't like Double Down just because the pacing is so slow.
Yeah, there's a reason for people to like or not like any one of his films.
Hilarious.
Yeah. Every single one of his films have plenty of legitimate reasons to either love them or be completely turned off by them. So
yeah. Fateful Findings is definitely up next. I need to
see please. It's so good.
It's so good.
Yeah. Fateful Findings.
Michael and I are Michael comes over, we're going to have to play it. See it after we play Xenoverse 2 when the game's got.
Mm-hmm.
Man. He's still, oh man. The email is passthroughfilm@aol.com.
Oh yeah, it's always the shit, right? Just like how Daddy Derek uses a Yahoo address. You know? It's just like really old people that have not evolved. And especially like their websites. There's a lot of parallels. And they both live in Las Vegas right now. Yeah, there are a lot of parallels between Daddy Derek and Neil Breen. It's very
interesting. To do movies together.
I wish, but
it's like
they won't. I know because they're both control freaks.
Yeah, I know it wouldn't work practically, but I wish it so.
I wonder if they think that the other, like, if Daddy Derek saw Neil Breen's films or Neil Breen saw Daddy Derek's films, I wonder if they would think that the other person was bad at filmmaking, but that they themselves were not. I wonder if like the level of like objective criticism towards the other person would be like objective, I guess.
I feel like it would really
be a terrible sentence.
We should hire some scientists because there's a very valuable social experiment to be conducted there.
I think they need to donate their brains to science so we can study them afterwards. I think we need to do some research on this and discover exactly what makes them tick. I am fascinated by these human beings.
I get like now that we've compared Daddy Derek and Neil Breen together, they kind of it's like almost like a red Oni blue Oni kind of thing. Daddy Derek is the crazy one. And Neil Breen is the calm and collected one.
Mm.
It's just kind of funny to point out.
Yeah, I mentioned this in another hangout, but we'll have to see what Neil Breen is like when he discovers that the internet exists, because so far, like that's his biggest. Like he hasn't done the copyright claim, like YouTube, whatever bullshit, but it's not just reviews that are on YouTube. It's like entire films of his. Yeah. So clearly he doesn't know what Content ID is. Clearly he doesn't know much about YouTube or the internet or anything, and probably doesn't even know his videos are there. So we'll see what happens when he does find out, and whether or not he'll blanket claim every video featuring his movie on the internet, or just maybe the full actual piracy copies online. We'll see. My video of Neil Breen is the first search result for Neil Breen, and it is soon to be the first Neil Breen related video on YouTube to get 1 million views. So if somebody wants to ruin my dreams, if Pyrocynical wanted to release a Neil Breen, oh shit, what is this noise? What is happening?
Like just go past my house or something.
Okay. If Pyrocynical wanted to release a Neil Breen video like tomorrow and ruin my dreams, then he could get 1 million views in like a day, and
yeah.
And then his would be the first. But so far, I think mine will get 1 million views first. The first 1 million view Neil Breen video. I don't know.
Oh no, I just checked. Neil Breen is definitely aware of YouTube, or at least he's aware of YouTube, but not the Content ID.
Well, I mean, he has a YouTube
because he's
channel.
Got his own YouTube channel.
But
right. Where he puts trailers.
Maybe he just doesn't care. Maybe he just doesn't care. Maybe we're judging him too harshly based on previous experiences with like-minded individuals or seemingly like-minded individuals.
Yeah.
Maybe we're just maybe we just have low expectations at this point.
Sorry. Maybe he keeps breaking his laptops too much for him to make a copyright.
This is true. Maybe he destroyed all of his laptops.
Yeah, he can't.
I wonder, like, they have to have been from Craigslist. Why would somebody have that many laptops that are all that old? Or like, that has to have been from some like Goodwill, like thrift shop or something.
Just accept a donation for them.
Oh yeah. Stop laptop abuse. Hashtag not all laptops. Neil Breen is just one of those great things that exists. You know,
I just recently became legal, so I'm definitely going to have to try Bringo at some point.
Oh yeah, legal drinking age.
Yep.
USA.
21. Yeah.
No, yeah, I know. It was just if you're in the USA, it's like wow, you're like 3 years later than the rest of the world. It's just kind of fun. I don't know. I've always kind of found it so stupid. Like,
yeah.
Oh, we do.
America lives in its own little bubble. You know, there's so many things where it's just like America is just like they don't match the rest of the world at all, and they're so stubborn. Like, oh no, if we lower the drinking age, then our society will be more like violent and unsafe and irresponsible. But it's like, well, compare yourselves to a society that has a lower drinking age, and compare those fear-mongering hypothetical situations with actual statistics from those countries, and I think you'll see that you're just full of shit. and that there would be nothing wrong with having an 18 years old drinking age.
Yeah, it's the same argument with gun control too.
Yeah, it's there. Yeah, I mean, it's there's America needs to like look at the rest of the world for like 1 second just to maybe get some good ideas of things that they should be doing. But I think oftentimes America forgets that anywhere else exists.
Yep. Yeah.
I just find it funny that America is like, you're 18 years old. You're old enough to fuck, but not enough to drink.
Yeah, exactly. You can kill yourself with like cigarettes. Is that 21 or 18?
18.
Yeah, why? Like, what the hell is that? What the hell is that? Cigarettes are like 18 and alcohol is 21.
When I was a kid, cigarettes were 17.
That's funny.
Yeah. In Utah, actually, they've upped it.
Cigarettes are much worse for you than alcohol.
Yeah. Cigarettes.
Like, if we're talking about like
Utah are actually.
If we're talking about
here in New Jersey too.
If we're talking about like the mental maturity a person should ideally be before making a decision, is cigarettes not like something that should be placed on a higher scale than alcohol? Like if you're gonna give yourself one of the most addictive substances on the fucking planet, like one of the hardest things to quit out of anything you could possibly be doing to your body, and you're saying that that's totally okay for 3 years that alcohol is not okay.
Yeah.
I mean, alcohol is pretty bad too, especially compared to like other drugs that are considered harmful and illegal by the what is it called?
We are FDA.
I was about to say FDA. I wasn't sure if I was getting that right, but I think it is FDA.
I guess the only real difference. Yeah. I guess the only real difference between like alcohol and cigarettes would be like if you smoke a cigarette, or smoke enough cigarettes, you'll still be able to drive a car. Whereas if you drink enough alcohol, I guess that's
nice.
Yeah, maybe. Well, I mean, I feel like cars should be self-driving anyway. I'm looking forward to that future. I mean, like human beings are just I don't trust human beings behind the wheel of a car. You know, like the average person, you put your life in their hands every single fucking day just by walking on the sidewalk, you know, next to traffic. And you're putting yourself in a situation where like you have to you trust that they won't screw up so that you can live another day. And you know, vehicular accidents are some of the highest causes of death no matter what country you're in, just because like human beings were not evolved to be driving around these steel death machines at high speeds. You know, we're completely ignoring what our brains are capable of and made for just so we can have things happen for us that are more convenient. And I get that our society is like built around the idea of vehicles, you know, being able to transport us to different places, but I'm really just excited for self-driving cars because that's the only thing that can help us out in that category.
Yeah.
Self-driving cars and solar driveways or whatever.
Solar roadways are a bad idea.
Yeah, I watched I once watched like a 6-hour analysis on how those are impossible and an incredibly
Thunderfoot made some good videos debunking the solar roadways. There's plenty of them out there, and if anybody's been keeping up with it, the new update where they placed them just in some basically just in some square out nowhere in the city, and they were like, oh yeah, here's our first prototype, and it just it doesn't even work. It's like half of them light up and half of them don't. They don't have any drainage, so they've been damaged by water. They're not even producing any solar power. It's just a sham. They can't do anything. They have to be, if they were serious about making it at one point, there's no way they could be now. There's no way because they're going to have to reach some point in their production process or their design process or their, overall real life application process where they're going to have to realize that it doesn't fucking work and it's a bad idea and it's not going to work out the way that they pretended it would. It's so sad because it's it plays on people's wishful thinking of oh yeah, it sounds great. Oh, I want this to be the future. But nobody really they address the issue of oh man, roads have been asphalt forever. We got to update. How come nobody ever updates? How come we use this crummy old asphalt? People are yeah, you're right. We have been using the same shit fucking forever and it's never been updated. Why don't we use something else for our roads? And it sounds appealing upon first glance, but people don't stop and think about why we use asphalt for roads.
It's nearly 100% recyclable.
Yeah, I mean traction, et cetera, you can't get that on glass. It's not, and it's not economically feasible.
It would cost the entire deficit.
The LED lights you would not be able to see. Really, what kind of fucking lights are you gonna use where you can see that shit with the sun on the horizon? You can't.
Yeah,
it's never gonna happen, and it just seems it's pretty much a scam. It's kind of unfortunate, but I mean,
yeah, it is.
That's life, full of disappointing things.
Yeah, how much money did they raise?
A lot. They got a grant for over $30,000 and another one for over 20, I think.
I'm just gonna Google search solar roadways and see what the first thing that comes up is.
Oh boy.
So their Indiegogo campaign launched and made page is loading. They raised over $2.2 million.
Whoa.
Wow.
And yeah, I mean, to think that $2.2 million was raised by 50,000 people for something that's never going to work, and just to think, think about how many more productive uses.
Yeah, that's a lot of money.
That's where I'm a little bit sad. Is $2.2 million can do a lot.
Yeah.
It can $1,000 tiny dollars out of that amount and do something great. That's 2.2 million.
There's a lot of things that could have been done with $2.2 million.
So there's all kinds of fucking. I say charities. Most charities are scams, but
yeah. What sucks about it is I want to be kickstarting projects in the future. And now it's just there's so many bad examples of Kickstarter projects that it's gotta be making people a little bit overly weary and cautious, and that's a good thing. I mean, stay skeptical. But now it's
if you do a good job, you can still make it though.
Well, yeah, I mean, I just have to prove my trustworthy more than I would theoretically have to get some people right. Which is also why I want to make sure that my album has things to show for it before I go any sort of crowdfunding Kickstarter route. I want to be able to prove something and not just be ooh, wishful thinking. Trust me, guys. Yeah. There's a lot of shitty Kickstarter projects that didn't fulfill its promises. Heads up, ending the stream in like 20 minutes.
Okay.
We're getting to the 3-hour mark or whatever. I've got some stuff I gotta do. Having some people over for some Halloween movies tonight.
What you gonna watch?
I don't know yet. We had like a closed poll for the people that are coming over. So far at the top of the poll, there's like the 2004 original Shudder movie, which is either South Korean or Japanese, I forget. I never even saw the American remake. Apparently it was shit. But I haven't even seen the original either way, so I mean, looking forward to it, I guess. The Thing is up there, and I'm pretty sure because I'm pretty sure there's a decent amount of my friends that haven't seen it. So I don't know. But yeah, it's just like a small sort of like couple people coming over thing. Didn't invite too many just because I don't know. I feel like after a certain amount, it's like nobody's watching the movie anymore, you know. But
yeah.
Well, we'll see what happens. It was kind of Mark's idea, so I'm hoping he takes care of most of the hosting. But I don't know. We'll see what happens. Got a lot of shit on my plate.
Can you guys hear me?
Yes, I can.
Oh,
yeah.
Wow. Okay.
We're good.
I'm not even a Patreon, but I got an email for the link, and it's like, hey.
I'm on Mark's but you Patreon. Donated though, right?
For Mark's Patreon, but.
Oh.
Anyways.
No, wait. Like you didn't donate through like the PayPal link or something?
No, I have $1 to yours, and then I have $10 on Adam Plays.
Oh, yeah. You know what? When I sent the messages today, it said that I sent them to like 1,000 people, even though I only highlighted. It's fine. It doesn't matter. I guess it's like the stream's ending in like 15 minutes anyway. So I think Patreon might have screwed up and sent it.
I only donate 5, so I got an email too.
Yeah. I mean, I don't think we ever really hit the maximum anyway, so that's kind of funny. Oops. Well, you got a freebie. Well, not really a freebie because you're donating anyway. It's all right. But yeah, we're ending the stream in like 15 minutes anyway. So if anybody's got any
gotcha.
questions,
I actually think I'm gonna take off.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay.
See you later.
I would be interested in
next month.
Okay.
Cool. Peace out. Thank you. Appreciate
I would be interested in your thoughts on Patterson past the numerical rating you gave on IMDb.
I enjoyed. I think Patterson is probably my favorite Jim Jarmusch film that I've seen. I just felt like everything that the movie did was very appropriate for itself. Like, so the the poetry appearing on the screen, transitioning between scenes with Adam Driver narrating it, might not have worked in a different film with different things happening. But with the type of story they wanted to make, and just like this very I wouldn't exactly call it subtle duality. Like at points it just made it like they didn't want you not to notice it, sort of thing. But I mean, there's plenty to pick up on in terms of like the theme of duality, that even if there's some that they shove in your face, there's enough that like you could think of it yourself. I just thought it was really well done, really well shot, filmed, acted, et cetera, et cetera. Some parts were a little predictable, but overall, I would like to see it again. I enjoyed it very much.
Okay, thanks.
Cool. Yeah, no problem. Yeah, that's up there. I don't know. I gave it like an 8 or a 9. I don't remember, but it's one of those.
Sweet.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, I'd like to see it again.
Cool.
I was actually wondering. I just recently finished Greg Sestero's book, The Disaster Artist.
Yeah.
Which I thought was a really good read, or at least I got the audiobook. And I was just wondering if you've read it and if you have what
not yet.
Were on it.
I have a signed copy, but I have not read it yet.
So by Greg?
We'll see when I get around to it. Yeah. He was at the Rio Theater in Vancouver during a screening of The Room, and he got copies that he sold there and stuff. So
Yeah, I really would recommend it. It's
I've heard good things about it.
Yeah,
I've got friends
equal
that
parts
it too.
tragic and comedic, and it's funny and creepy, and inspirational, and it's a very like mixed bag in the best way.
I agree that it should be made into a movie, but I don't know how I feel about James Franco directing it. Because I mean, it's not like he's ever he's directed a lot of movies, but he's never directed a good movie. So that's why I'm a little bit skeptical. Is he's directed a lot, but he's never made anything good. That's why I'm concerned.
Well, I'm very excited for the movie.
Yeah.
Especially since I'm just excited to see him in his prosthetic makeup because he really pulls off the Tommy Wiseau look.
Yeah. We'll see. We'll see what happens.
Speaking of,
I'll tell you what, though, oh, go ahead.
What?
Sorry.
Did you guys see the trailer that Tommy Wiseau and Greg Sestero came out for the movie?
It looks
So
I mean, I'll watch it, but it doesn't look.
I mean,
it doesn't look genius.
I don't know how I feel about it. It looks a bit too self-aware. To have the same kind of quality that The Room did.
Well, that, and I mean, like, whenever somebody takes on these kind of projects, whenever somebody decides, like, oh yeah, I want to do a love letter to The Room, and we'll have Greg Sestero and Tommy Wiseau in the same movie again, and people, like, whenever somebody decides they want to do that and give fan service to people who like bad movies, usually it winds up getting picked up by somebody who's just like, who doesn't know what they're doing anyway. I would love to see that from like a competent filmmaker. I would love to see somebody with some level of talent do a like The Room callback movie with Greg Sestero and Tommy Wiseau. But it's never the case. It's always just done by some buttfuck who doesn't have anything better going on, and they want, they're the only people that have suggested it, and so Tommy Wiseau and Greg Sestero are like, sure, I'm on, because like, what else have they really got going on right now? Yeah. I have a feeling it's not going to be good, but we'll see.
Yeah, I can totally see someone like Edgar Wright pulling off something like that.
Yeah, there's ways that it can be done and still be good, I think.
Yeah. Also, just a random question. What do you think of the Jason Bourne franchise, especially the original trilogy?
I watched the original trilogy when I was very young, and I've seen them once each, and I don't remember all that much about them other than what happens at the beginning of the second one and like something about the that stairway fight, and that's about it. And I remember the Moby song at the end of 3, but not anything from the movie itself. And didn't bother watching the new one. Mark said it was bad, and everybody else said it was bad. So it was just like
the past 2 have been like Legacy. After Legacy, I just not really been that interested in the franchise.
Yeah, it doesn't. This doesn't seem like there's any point to watching it.
Yeah.
So
cool.
Actually, Adam, I was wondering. I just finished it recently. Have you seen Over the Garden Wall yet?
Yeah, I was watching it for my 2014 thing because miniseries I consider to be like eligible, even though I haven't really put one on my list yet. Something with a definitive beginning and ending that's already planned out and doesn't just exist to go on forever. It was all right. I didn't finish it because I had other things to watch for my 2014 thing, and by episode like 3 or something, I was like, yeah, it's good, but not. I mean, it wasn't ever gonna make my list, and so I mean, I enjoyed it overall. It wasn't something that I would consider to be that level.
Yeah, I can understand that.
Yeah. Hyped for Gorillas. We'll see.
Oh yeah.
When's it coming out? The new Gorillas album. I don't know. Did they just say they're getting back together? Did they have an album planned? I know there was some news around it. I don't know what they said.
Well, I thought Gorillaz was just one guy and then the artist.
I don't know. Fuck. I watched the Captain Christian video at one point.
Oh, he's so good.
Yeah. Christian? I don't know. How do you pronounce it? Christine?
I think it's Christian.
Christian?
Yeah, I think so.
Captain Christian. Ted Cruz.
Confirmed for Zodiac Killer.
Yes. Man, you know what? As much of a disaster this election is, I think they're both better candidates than Ted Cruz. You know, as much as they're both awful candidates, I think Ted Cruz would have been somehow more awful.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Have you listened?
Especially in like a social sense. Yeah. Yeah, for no domestic sense, you know, for domestic policies and things like that. His domestic policies, which is awful.
Yeah. There's no good answer this year. I mean, well, there was, and you know, they decided it was not important that they should conspire against the one good option, and that the powers that be would not allow him to even be somebody who you could vote for. But that's just the state of American politics right now, and you know, people riot over like less important things, and nobody rioted over the whole DNC thing. So that's a little unfortunate, but whatever. Can't really incite violence on this channel. I might get banned from the country. So. All right, we got about 7 minutes left. If anybody has any.
Yeah, what's your stance on like famous directors now starting to produce series like Fincher and Iñárritu and McQueen?
Well,
I think also working on one.
I mean, what is Fincher doing right
high
now?
hopes. I thought Fincher was also producing some kind of series.
Well, I mean,
TV
like
series.
he was signed on to do. Well, I mean, there was talk of him doing Utopia, but I don't know if that's actually happening or not.
Yeah, that has actually been abandoned, but some Mindhunter. I don't know.
So I can't really give too much of an opinion on these things when they're not out yet.
But do you generally have high hopes for them exploring new mediums? Or
well,
would
yeah,
you
it's
rather
just
have
based
them
on.
sticking
I
to
wouldn't.
film?
No, yeah, I would never be the type of person like if it's a good director and they want to do something new, I'm never gonna complain about that. Fuck, you know, I'm gonna let them test it out and try it out, and if it doesn't work, then maybe I might be a bit more opinionated on it. But I'm never. You know, I don't want to confine someone and restrict them to doing the same thing for the rest of their life also. And it could turn out well, we'll see. But I can only really tell once it's actually out, you know.
Okay.
We'll just have to wait and see and be patient about it and see what happens.
Yeah, he did a pretty good job for the episodes he was involved in House of Cards.
In House of Cards, yeah.
Yeah, that's what I hear. I keep forgetting he was involved in that. I would like to... I still haven't even seen it, so...
I think it's only really
first episode is him, I think, is Fincher.
Mm-hmm. You know,
real quick.
Yes.
I think I'll make this my last question. A real simple one. If do you have a favorite musical, and if so, what is it?
Is The Lion King a musical? It's probably my favorite musical.
I'd have to say that mine would be Sweeney Todd. That's a fun.
I remember that being good. I enjoyed that. I saw the Book of Mormon once, and that was pretty great. Nightmare Before Christmas has some great songs. And I enjoy very much. Dancer in the Dark, yeah, but I almost don't even consider that to be a musical. I know. It's so weird. I wish, I don't know. I like Bjork kind of, but I feel like her performance in the movie was better than the songs that were in the movie. I feel like for that, if we got the exact same film, but the songs were more like traditional musical songs, I feel like it would have been so fucking magical. It would have been like, it could be in like my like top 5 movies ever made sort of thing if they really if they really improved what the music was. I don't know. Like some people, I guess, will prefer the whole Bjork music, but it had so much more potential to be something more emotionally gripping than "You just did what you had to do."
That's kind of
like
an awful
that's
part.
that's not the emotion that I want out of that scene, because it could be so much more, and I feel like it's really just cutting itself short in terms with the music in particular in that film. Like, yes, I'm glad that it makes it have a different feel, and I like unique movies, but in terms of what the potential that movie had was and what it could have been, it always makes me wish that there was a bit more of a traditional, or you could even say formulated kind of music vibe. You can still make great music that's very musical-esque music. I felt like that's what the movie needed, and I guess it's just a little personal preference. So,
hey Adam, I got a question. If you got a sec.
Yeah, sure.
Two. I have one question about Charlie Brooker. Are you a fan of Charlie Brooker? Do you have you seen all of his stuff from the UK? How TV Ruined Your Life, Screen Wipe, that sort of thing. And do you like Black Mirror? What do you think of that?
I think I've seen bits and pieces of Screen Wipe. I've seen Black Mirror, not all of it. I enjoyed the series premiere to an extent. There was another episode that I think I enjoyed. The one that was probably my favorite was the Christmas special, which I think everybody loves the most. And then beyond that, I saw a couple episodes from Black Mirror that I just really didn't like, and I thought that were kind of bad. So it's kind of hit or miss for me. I haven't thoroughly explored it, so.
It's very much a callback to old Twilight Zone, isn't it? I mean,
it feels like it, yeah. And I like that it's got like kind of a central theme.
Yeah.
But I'm willing to watch more from it and see how it does. It's not something that I consider to be like a surefire. Like I don't. If I watch a Black Mirror episode, I'm not gonna like have my expectations set too high. And if it's great, then it Then
I strongly recommend that you check out How TV Ruined Your Life, and I think he does a thing called Games Wipe, which is about video games, where he kind of critically examines video games. And then it's How TV Ruined Your Life, Screen Wipe, and How Games Ruin Your Life, or Games Wipe, or something like that. My other question was, do you think horror as a movie genre is dead?
No. It's well, I mean, like it's there's good horror movies coming out every once in a while. Like It Follows was good. It could have been much better. There's to say that the genre is dead would I think be overstating it.
I mean, the last good horror, well, good if you want to call it good. The last, I don't know, notable horror franchise, in my opinion anyway, is like Saw. That they did anything new with horror.
Well, I mean,
since then there's been like Paranormal Activity and like those really suck. So like to me, the popularity of that is kind of indicated that it's dead.
To be fair, Paranormal Activity did bring its own vibe to it, and there's a reason why it got like way too many movies, and why I'm pretty sure they're still making them. I don't even know, but there's a reason. They brought something of a unique voice to it. I don't really like the voice that they brought to it. It's definitely for other people more than it is for me. But that doesn't necessarily mean the genre is dead. It just means that like the really popular franchise that's happening right now is just really trash and not even enjoyable. Some people would say the same thing about Friday the 13th or Nightmare on Elm Street or Saw or any of the like slasher horror franchises that have existed and become successful. Now, I will say that the 80s and 90s definitely had a lot more of a market for the types of slasher horror things that I would typically enjoy, even if only ironically sometimes.
So here's what I think about that. I think that horror as a genre is really pinned down by what new thing you can do. And in the 80s and 90s, the culture was more permissive, and we got to progress into things that we couldn't do in horror up until that point. And then we kind of tapped the shit out of it so that, you know, all of that stuff was kind of done to death. The slasher thing, the psychological horror, you know, stuff like Suspiria in the 70s was like a new direction. So like Saw was the last time anything new happened, and even that was like not that, you know, like the torture porn thing or Hostel, like all of that kind of thing.
Well, yeah. So
like
I mean, it's just trends in a generation, and right now, so you know, a decade ago it was Saw, and that was the big horror feel that people wanted, and it's going to change every single decade or however many years. Right now, we're in an overabundance of found footage, Blumhouse, shitty paranormal ghost bullshit, and I don't like it. To some people, they might consider it to be great, but you know, it's something we're going to grow out of that too. You know, there's going to be a new overused genre of horror in the 2020s or something. It might be, I don't know, vampires, zombies, whatever. Like, it could be a rehash of something. It could be a theme. It could be a way of filming. Who knows, really? I don't think anybody really predicted for horror movies to be like spammed with shitty found footage. I don't think anybody really saw that coming before it happened.
That's also a really mass market thing,
one
though.
genre.
Sorry?
You know, one genre that really comes to mind when you're talking about like the phases that we go through. One that comes to mind for me is the cannibal film. Here's we'll go to like a deserted island, and they get picked up by a tribe who's never seen a white man before, and they're cannibals. Huge thing in the 70s.
Yeah,
You know, that's what I'm saying. Is like we don't seem to ever go back to a thing. Like we find in horror, it's about like shock and kind of surprise and novelty. And once we kind of do a thing, and then everyone says, "Oh shit, that worked. Let's do that too," until everyone's sick to death of it, and then we never really seem to go back to it. So that's why I'm thinking like it's not like other genres where, you know, like psychological movies or thoughtful movies or documentaries or stuff that becomes sort of like the genre of vogue that people go to see. With horror, and especially with like people who care about horror movies and not just mass market people who go, "Ooh, wouldn't it be fun to take the girls out and go watch a horror movie in the theaters?" It's sort of like, what's the next new thing? Because we seem to like wear things out and never go back.
That's true, but I mean, I haven't lost my faith in the ability for someone in society to find the next big thing. I haven't lost my faith in that. There'll be a horror movie that is so successful that everything will want to clone it. That's all you need, is for one movie to be ridiculously successful. Back in 2000, whatever, it was Saw, you know, and then in 2007 it was Paranormal Activity. And when we hit the next like incredibly successful horror movie, then all of a sudden you'll notice that every single studio will literally just be trying to copy that movie and nothing else, and it'll just be everything will be the same, but it's a different genre sort of thing. You know, like there are things that are going to be made outside of the mainstream studio circle that are going to be, you know, great and inventive regardless. Sure. It's only going to influence what the trend is if it's so successful that studios start seeing that as a financially viable solution, is to copy them and do the same.
I guess the other part of it is also that, like, we see, especially in the mass market kind of horror movies, we see them trying a lot of stuff now that's not working. Like back when it was torture porn and it was Saw and Hostel and stuff like that, something happened there, and it was like a result of a new sort of permissiveness, or like at least a sensitivity that hadn't been tapped yet, with like ultra gory mindfuck kind of
who knows,
you know, thing. So like beyond
you can't say that like there's nothing left though.
Yeah. Well, I wonder though, like what we can't get more graphic, we can't get sort of more psychological, because like what does that even look like?
Exactly.
The effects can't get better, because we, you know, unless we move into like some kind of new holographic medium where there's all this new room to develop, there's not really any way to do like better effects. CGI is pretty much, you know, plateaued that whole thing. now it's down to the creativity of the people who use the tools, right? In the old days, and like I'm old, right? So like in the old days, you watch a horror movie and it looked like shit, but you kind of went, okay, I get what they're doing. Like Friday the 13th or like Nightmare on Elm Street, you go, okay, I get what they're doing. And they had to cover up a lot with direction and lighting and stuff like that. They had to be more creative. Nowadays, you can literally do or show anything you can imagine. So then it comes down to the artfulness of the way you
That's not true.
do it or imagine it. So like thinking that way and looking at the way that permissiveness and like our kind of standards in media kind of developed to this like point where, you know, you couldn't be any more depraved. You couldn't show anything that was more fucked up. And now you can't show anything. So,
I don't know if I agree with you, because there's plenty of shock value left. It just, you know,
well, that's the thing though. Like we've tapped that shock
movie.
Value to such an extent that people are now so oversensitive, and like anything comes out that even hints at, you know, something like torture porn, and the reviewers are all over it. You know, they're basically, you know, they're genre shaming in a way.
Maybe. I like it's just a shift, and you know, when a certain, you know, culture or demographic gets used to something, then, you know, maybe there'll be a market for it to shift back, maybe in a different direction. I feel like, you know, you could say the same thing in any real decade or series of years for horror beforehand. You know, like you could go back to, you know, before Saw, and in between like, you know, when all those like Freddy versus Jason things were happening and like slasher horror was kind of dying down, and, you know, there was this span of however many years where things just weren't really all that great for horror. And even with Saw, I mean, arguably the Saw movies aren't really that great anyway. It's just a matter of like whether or not people are legitimately into it and interested. And it's happening right now with like James Wan, but they're not really movies that I like. And that's the only.
I think it's also that like a studio can't really make stuff that's fucked up anymore, because they have such pressure from the media, from, you know, SJW types and like moms who are now mobilized to like prevent stuff like that. You know, the people who,
you can show whatever you want as long as it doesn't like implicate some sort of like rape fantasy scenario. That's really the only way to piss anybody off nowadays. But in terms of like shock value gore, if it's a dude being raped, then not as many people complain. So
right,
you still
exactly. So that's what I mean. Like you can't have a woman be in danger anymore in a way that people find distasteful.
It really depends, you know, because like the only way for people to get really riled up over that kind of shit is for them to even know it exists. And
that's true. Because I watched the last Rob Zombie movie. What was it called? The oh god, it was another one with Sherry Moon Zombie, and it was like they were in some kind of house, and it was there was some like contest. They had like 6 people, and they were betting on who of these 6 people were going to survive the horrors of this house. It was a lot like Running Man, and it was just dog shit. The whole movie was dog shit. And I looked at that and I went, you know, this movie is not popular, not because it's bad or like that it's horror, but it's just that it's just not a marketable movie, you know. And I feel like those things, you can't make them anymore. They don't get traction, and when they do get traction, they get shouted down, and like you can't even like look at Saw and those things. You can't even admit to liking those in some circles anymore, because people will kind of shame you out of it.
Maybe.
So Pablum stuff like the James Wan stuff, and like I know Babadook. I think you liked Babadook, didn't you?
No. Well, I thought it was all right. I thought it was also like way more overhyped and did not deserve as much praise as it got.
So like the Pablum-y stuff, the stuff that like you would take your family to, or you don't mind, you know, seeing with your mom or something. That stuff's like more marketable. They can make it, but it's not really horror. It's sort of like ghost stories, which it doesn't stop anyone.
I know it's bad, But at the same time, I mean, like if we're gonna make comparisons to like older generations of horror films, can we really say that the oversaturation of it was what made it good? I don't really think so. You know, there's some really standout films within the genre, like if we're talking about like the first of each franchise, those were the ones that were really important, and those don't really stop getting made. I mean, like if let's say the movie It Follows was like the most successful horror film of the year, then we might see 20 sequels or something, and then we might as well be saying that we're in a shift of like public attention and genre. But I think these movies, great horror movies, are still being made, really infrequently, as they always have been. Just there isn't as much mainstream attention on the good ones because, you know, same reason why there isn't mainstream attention on the good movies of any genre typically. Right. Yeah. It's not as marketable. I do got to finish up the stream though.
Thanks a lot.
Yeah, no problems. Thank you for joining. Were there any other?
It was nice to meet you, Adam.
Any other questions or comments that are really quick?
Just a quick comment on a horror movie. So it's a pretty good horror movie that came out recently called Evolution. I recommend checking that one out. It's pretty good. It's
a horror movie called Evolution.
Yeah. 2015.
Do they kill the enemies with Head and Shoulder shampoo?
No, it's like based on like a
Evolution.
Really weird cult, and it's like a really weird. It's like set in like a island with like a really weird cult-like environment. It's pretty good. It's pretty slow.
Yeah, I'll give it a watch. Okay. Anyway, thank you all for joining. Thank you all for stopping by.
Nice to meet
Thank you for your support. Thank you for donating. I will see you guys next month, and I will be updating here and there. The part two of childhood trauma video will come out sometime in November. I'm not sure which day because there's still a lot that I need to do on it, but if there's some really, really cool, funny stuff that happens that I wish I could talk about.
Okay.
But I'm excited. I'm excited to release it. It'll be sometime in November, and hopefully sooner rather than later. But we'll see. I'm not going to release it unless it's perfect. So,
okay.
Anyway, thank you so much for stopping by. Bye bye, everybody. Bye bye. Bye bye. Bye bye. Bye bye.